The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Well, there are three ways of pronouncing M-O-O-G. It's originally a Dutch name. This goes back 1,000 years or so. And in Holland, you would pronounce it Moch. Now, that's a little bit too much to expect people to do here. In Germany, it's a fairly common name, and there it's pronounced Moog. In Great Britain, English-speaking countries, people see the double O and they say Moog. Now, I just happen to like the sound of Moog better than Moog. Part of my family pronounces it one way, and part pronounces it the other way.
Day in and day out it's humdrum. Give up, give in, give me a reason for living. Am I with someone? Am I alone? What does it matter? I'm on my own. When life was overbearing and a giant weight for me to carry, you helped me throw it all away. 'Cause I've got two arms that can touch you, and two eyes that have so much to see. I can breathe, I can laugh, I can swallow. I'm the world's best possible me. I can do anything that I want to. I can go anywhere that I please. I got nothing I gotta live up to. I'm the world's best possible me. Someone's tossed the dice. Wonder if I can be lucky twice. There's so much at stake. All that I ask is an even break. I think I matter. I feel so strong. It feels like my year. I can't go wrong. I thought my world was crumbling and my folk rock boot heels were a stumbling. Now you're the daddy of my day. 'Cause I've got two arms that can touch you, and two eyes that have so much to see. I can breathe, I can laugh, I can swallow. I'm the world's best possible me. I can do anything that I want to. I can go anywhere that I please. I got nothing I gotta live up to. I'm the world's best possible me. It's possible. It's possible.
I'm in one of those moods tonight. Whoa, hey, computer, wait, there we go. Thank you very much. And so is the computer by the look of things. I'm feeling the need for something stupid, psychedelic, surreal, and impossible to fathom out. If you're holding Drop it now, guys, because in about 45 minutes, you're really going to start feeling the collective high of what I think is going to be a nonsensical ramble through the subconscious. That's what's happening tonight on Talk Radio. You won't be getting that on LBC. You won't be getting that on 5 Live. You certainly won't be getting that on any of your BBC local radio stations. If you want to take part in tonight's psychedelic surreal experiment, 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. You call us, we call you back. It'll cost you pennies, probably free for most of you. Anyway, we call you back pretty darn instantly. You can call in about absolutely anything you want. The more bizarre, the more out there, the better. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. And, of course, why we would never encourage anybody to mess around with hallucinogens or psychedelics. If you're holding, then please time your experience by dropping now. That's what we're talking about, dear listeners. The whole thing, of course, what's that? It's the Pink Floyd album, that if you start it at the same time as The Wizard of Oz, it apparently it ties in. Has anyone actually done that? First of all, what is the Pink Floyd album? I made the mistake of thinking it was Ummagumma, and boy, that really doesn't tie in with. In fact, well, I thought it was. I thought you had to play Ummagumma alongside Scrooged, and I got it completely wrong. It turns out it's another album, possibly Wish You Were Here, that ties in with the film with the Yellow Brick Road, The Wizard of Oz. That's the film. 0344 499 1000. I'm Iain Lee. This is the late night alternative. You are listening to Talk Radio either on DAB, either by using the Talk Radio app, or by going online at talkradio.co.uk. Some of you are even watching us. Welcome to those watching us on periscope.tv/Iain Lee. Catherine Boyle is here.
Yes.
She is my producer. She is my co-host. And you know what, guys? She's my best friend as well. So that makes for a nice, intimate experience for your ears. I have had... Well, the reason I'm feeling surreal and psychedelic and a little bit out there, man, is because I have had the weirdest experience, I'm going to say, of my professional life this evening, in that I went to the National Television Awards, me, at the NTAs, and cars were provided for us, and I was going, of course, because of that silly jungle programme I was on, and I wasn't going to go. Well, first of all, Catherine and I were both going to go, and then we were going to do the radio show there. Then it proved impossible, so I said I can't go, and then they got in touch and said, well, the award you're up for is going to be first, so could you make it? So I then texted my friend Shappi Khorsandi, the brilliant comedian who's coming on next week, and I said, I think I am going now, and she said, oh, well, can I come with you? Because I'm scared of the red carpet. And I went, I'm so glad you asked me, because, yes, I too am terrified. So she got a car to work. We got met and we got in a car and we went to the O2 Centre. And is the weirdest thing. The cab pulled up right at the end of the red carpet and we stepped out. And the lady said, welcome to the NTAs. And there was a red carpet and we walked along it. And on the left-hand side of the red carpet... it was film crews, all film crews, people from Lorraine, Good Morning Britain, This Morning, Welsh Kids TV show that we spoke to. They were my favourite ones, actually. And on the right-hand side, it was you, dear listener. It was the punters. It was about, I'm going to say 1,500, 2,000 people that had queued up to meet the celebrities. And there were real celebrities there, you know. The most famous people I saw, well, I'll give you 3. Dr. Ranj, Del Boy, and Rita from Coronation Street. She was the one that got me most excited. I saw Del Boy in the toilets, and I didn't recognise him because he looked so old. But I used the hand dryer next to him. And there were other famous people. Lots of people from Emmerdale came and said hello to me, possibly because they thought I was Marlon Dingle, as you pointed out, Catherine. I said hello to Ruth, Eamon's wife, Ruth Langford. Is that her name? Langsford. Said hello to Philip Schofield. Lots of lovely people. Spoke to the members of the Chase, cast members of the Chase. And Shappi and I walked down this red carpet thinking, well, no one's going to want to talk to us. And we kept getting grabbed. We kept getting grabbed by people who would pull us to talk to them. Come and talk to This Morning. Come and talk to Lorraine. So we did that. And then, of course, you've got the real, real people screaming and literally screaming. And so we went and had selfies with as many of those as we could. And if we avoided you, I had to apologise. It was kind of a bit bizarre. And we got to the end of the red carpet. after about 20 minutes. And then we realised we weren't at the end of the red carpet, we were halfway along. And so then we had to go along again. And there was a bit where, right towards the end, there were about 30 photographers. And what we had to do is we had to stand in... And by the way, all the way along, Shappy and I were holding hands, just seeing if we could get some money out of a possible showman. If there's a spin-off series to be had, we'll take it. And we heard people going, "Oh my God, they're holding hands." It was delicious. And then we had to stand in front of these photographers and they take your pictures. Look over here, look over here, look over here. And then we got told to move along to the, you had to do 4 tranches of these pictures. And on the last one, we stood there. And after 20 seconds, I said to Shappy, these photographers aren't even looking at us. They're looking down at their cameras. And we just stood there for ages, just like idiots. Then we went to a huge room full of famous people and free booze and all kinds of shenanigans. And then we walked into the O2 Arena. I was sat in the second row of the O2 Arena. It was amazing. I saw my good friends Amir Khan, I saw Dennis Wise, I saw Jamie, I saw Becky, I saw Toff, Stanley, Shappy and Jenny. And then it started. And you know who was doing the comparing off camera? Andy Collins.
Oh.
The fellow who does the show at the Three Counties. And I made a point of saying hello to him and said, "Say my best to Justin and everyone."
Wow, isn't that an interesting circle?
It really is interesting. He's the fellow who took over for me at Three Counties. Lovely bloke. And then it started. Now, the award we were up for was supposed to be announced first, but Ant and Dec were late. So they did a different award first, which Gogglebox won. And then they did our award. Best. I mean, it is a made-up award category. The best challenge show. What? So they did that, and literally, as they said, and the winners are. Ant and Dec came legging it in and sat down on the seats in front of me. The winners are I'm a Celebrity. And the surrealness, the weirdness of this experience of the last 2 months, just when I think it's ended, when I think that the strangeness has gone away, it just continues. And suddenly I find myself, again, holding hands with Shappy, which we found hilarious. I don't think anyone actually noticed. But also it was nice to have a mate to kind of lean on. We walked up on stage at the O2, where I've seen so many bands there, where I've seen Neil Diamond. We'll talk about Neil Diamond in a bit. Remind me to talk about Neil Diamond. I've seen so many bands there. And we walked up on stage, and suddenly I found myself looking out. The O2 wasn't full, but I would say there was I was 3/4 full. I'm looking out at the O2, and I can see the cast of Coronation Street. There's the cast of EastEnders. And I'm stood there, and Ant and Dec are making a speech, and then Toff makes a speech, and then we walked off, and I'm talking to the lovely gentleman who starred in that Liar Liar programme, the guy who has got a Welsh name.
Johan Griffiths.
Yeah, he had announced us, and I was talking to him, and we're walking off, and it was just the weirdest. And then we go backstage, and you have your picture taken, then you go to another room and have your picture taken, and we're stood in this. We got hustled out onto this stage. Before we went into this room, it's, ladies and gentlemen, the cast of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. Applause. We walk out onto this stage, and there's 12 of us, and we stand on the stage, and there's, again, 50 photographers taking photos. Look here. Jenny, put the statue in the middle, love. And I'm going, well, a please would be nice. And so we're doing that, and obviously everyone's pushed for time, and there's a sort of compare there, and he said, right, we've only got time for one question for the cast of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. And a guy put his hand up and said, yeah, I've got a question for Ian. Ian, now that you've done I'm a Celebrity, are you going to be getting the 11 o'clock show back together? And it was such a preposterously... He might as well have said, Ian, now that you've finished I'm a Celebrity, what do you think of the collected works of Shakespeare? It just came from nowhere. It was such an alien... Those words were so... And I kind of stumbled and went, probably not, no, but the jungle was a great threat. And I went into the rehearsed things, and then we had more pictures, and then we had more pictures, and then I came here. And it was the weird... It's done something to my head. It's screwed up my head, guys, and I think it's going to be... not the theme of the show, because I know a lot of you aren't interested in any of that nonsense and in my personal ups and downs. But it certainly it flavoured. It was I don't know. It was like licking a large lump of psychedelic coal, and some of it has just affected and infected my mind. So I think tonight's show is going to be an odd one, guys. It's going to be an odd one. And listen to this, of course. Here we go. You know what song this is? It's I'm a Believer, the instrumental version of I'm a Believer, written by Mr. Neil Diamond. It's almost like we planned this stuff. Tonight's show, we are saying hats off to Neil Diamond as he announces his retirement from the concert stage because of Parkinson's. Man alive, I knew I should have bought tickets for that last show. I've seen my last Neil Diamond concert. That's my opening monologue over. Make of it what you will. 0344 499 1000. I'm Iain Lee. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
Closing time conversation for tax inspectors, taxi drivers, and taxidermists. Great big talk for the wee small hours.
You've been trolling me big time, mate.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Good evening, Sarah.
Hi, Ian.
Hi, Sarah.
Hiya.
Hiya.
Hi, Ian.
Yes?
I think I've lived on my own for far too long.
Hang on a second. If you're on speakerphone, then rectify that immediately.
I'm off speakerphone,
Here's the
sorry.
thing, guys. Here's the thing. What is... everyone knows that speakerphone... Yeah, sure, it's handy, but it don't work. It sounds
I was
awful.
doing the washing up.
Also, it's just plain rude, Sarah. I'm going to be honest. It's just plain rude that you can't be bothered to hold a telephone anymore. It's these muppets you see walking down the street who think they're on The Apprentice when they're holding their phone in front of them. No, hold a phone up to your ears, for crying out loud.
Okay.
There we go.
Are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling on top of the world. I'm just glad that I've been able to educate you. I'm just warning you now, guys. I'm just as I'm talking to Sarah, I'm spending £7.99 buying a Neil Diamond karaoke.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, we're going to have some of that. Definitely.
Awesome sources. So,
yes.
Just, anyway, like I was saying, I think I've lived on my own for far too long. I've come up with this awesome game when you wash up.
Okay, yes.
It's my favourite washing up game. I've got a few.
Your favourite washing up game you've got. By the way, if anyone else has got washing up games, 0344 499, stick it up your arse. Yes.
So mine is how many, for example, cat bowls. I've got 2 cats. Or plates can I wash up? For example, by the time Kurt Cobain starts singing on "Smells Like Teen Spirit."
Well, and what's the record for that?
Today I managed to finish all the cat bowls. That's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cat bowls.
Yes.
And about 3 plates. And I did say I think I've lived on my own for far too long.
You wash the cat bowls in the same water as the plates?
Yeah. Is that wrong?
Ooh,
Have you done the plates at this point? Is that the last thing to go in?
Oh, God, yeah.
Right.
Okay, fine. That's good. So the plates are clean first, and then you do the cat bowls last?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay,
And I use disinfectant soap.
And you use different J-cloths, and use different cloths.
I use a different cloth every time I wash up.
Oh, whoa! We just entered a whole different level of crazy. Now it is a known fact. It's a known fact that you're supposed to change your dishcloth once a week, right? But nobody does.
Once a week?
Yeah, but nobody does.
No,
Everyone keeps them
once
for
a
like
day.
a year. But changing them once a day? That's
just vile.
That's
once a week.
No, you're insane.
Oh, and all those germs and yuckiness and...
Yeah, but we've got a dishwasher, so we very rarely by hand.
I'm not posh.
I'm not. I'm just really lazy.
I always think that it kind of keeps me grounded, washing up.
I could tell you were real when I
here's the thing.
heard you.
We have a dishwasher, but the dishwasher hasn't worked for 2 years. So washing up is the thing. But I mean, it's very satisfying. It's all of that stuff, but it's a pain in the ass, really.
I couldn't. No, not the same cloth a week though. That's wrong. Because you think of all the germs and stuff, and then I use it for the cats. It has to go in the bin.
Okay.
Do you live completely on your own?
Apart from my cat?
Yeah.
She's a cat lady.
Yeah.
Right, that's
She's a
how
cat
you can
lady.
be so pristine. I think if you've got a house full of other people, you can't be that precious.
She's a cat
That's
lady.
true. I am a cat lady. I actually volunteer at a cattery as well.
Okay, I'm going to cut you off now because this is. I was just waiting for this to download, and Money Talks. It don't sing and dance and it don't walk. I'm not even looking at the words. As long
Don't look
as
at me.
I could rather here with me, I'd much rather be forever in blue jeans. And honey's sweet, but it ain't nothing next to baby's treat. And if you'll pardon me, I'd like to say we'll do okay forever in blue jeans. Now, maybe tonight by the fire all alone, you and I. There's nothing around but the sound of my heart and your sighs.
Oh, my
Let
God.
me hear you now. Let me hear you now. Let me hear you now. Money talks. It don't sing and dance and it don't walk. But if you'll pardon me, I'd like to say we'll do okay forever in blue jeans. And honey's sweet, but it ain't nothing next to baby's treats. And if you pardon me, I will say we'll do okay forever in blue jeans. Come here. Maybe tonight by the fire all alone, you and I. Take it, Alan!
That was the night when the sun was shining in your eyes.
Let me hear you now! Let me hear you now! Take it, Alan!
Money talks. There's no reason that it can walk. Wherever no like to be, for you will see. Where we blue babe.
That cost you 86 quid from America. Got it! Got it! I'd like to say we'll do okay forever in blue jeans, yeah! Blue jeans, yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Neil Diamond, who has announced today he's retiring from live concerts.
Turns out it doesn't matter because we've got the replacement.
There we go. Put that video on, that'll go viral. Hey, do you like a bit of Diamond, Caddick? Of course you do. Everyone loves diamonds.
Yeah, but it's been a bad day for me today.
Sad day. Why? Are you related to him?
No, I'm back in hospital again.
Hey. Are you on speakerphone, though? Because...
No, I'm not on speakerphone.
Have you got Bluetooth?
No, it's a landline.
He's just subdued, Ian. He's just subdued.
Well, it's a sad day for music and a sad day for mums.
Yeah, but I had some good news. He may be home the weekend.
OK, well, that's... We will keep our fingers crossed, Alan, not for the whole time. It'll be difficult to drive and things. And you would hate it and Mum would hate it if I had a car crash just because I had my fingers crossed for her. I'm sure she would hate that.
Yeah, I saw you at the NTAs.
Were you there?
No, I watched that on the telly.
Oh, can you believe?
I voted for you.
Oh, well, here's the thing. People kept saying to me afterwards, so Ian, what does it feel like to have won? And I said, well, I haven't. This is like for Ant and Dec, and it's for the 700 people that make that show. I said, we're just the faces of it. We're the faces of
but
it.
that was a humble thing to say, and it'll make people love you more, so it means that you have actually, you won it on your own.
Oh, yeah, no, totally. I made that series with the Strawberries. I know that.
You and the pig.
Yeah, me and the pig, and my pretend crying and my pretend breakdown. I was playing those suckers like a fiddle, and boy, oh boy, it worked.
We knew he had a game plan.
That's it.
Indeed.
Indeed, Alan. I tell you what, because you're a little bit down, I'm going to let you do another song. Pick a Neil Diamond song.
Sweet Caroline.
There we go. Over to you, Alan.
And I began to know it. How could it be we're feeling strong? Was in the spring, and spring became the summer. Look at us there, we're growing strong. Hands, touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Take it in.
Sweet Caroline, ba ba ba. Good times never seem so good. I've been inclined, ba ba ba, to believe they never would, but now it's Alan.
Where it began.
Oh.
We started to wonder, how could it be we've gone so far? In your eyes, I saw we started loving. How could it be we're growing strong? Warm, touchy warm, reach it out, holding me, holding you.
Here we go! Sweet Caroline, ba ba ba. Good times never seem so good. I've been inclined, ba ba ba, to believe they never would, but now it's the instrumental. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Alan Caddick.
Sweet Caroline, good time never seemed so good. I've been inclined to believe they never would.
Sweet Caroline. Alan Caddick, ladies and gentlemen. Well done, Alan.
Bravo.
Thank you very much. Hats off to Mr. Neil Diamond here on Talk Radio.
Take a trip into the alternate reality of late night radio.
I think I'm in something like The Matrix, and so are you.
The late night alternative
Hello, hello.
with Ian Lee
Is there anybody out there?
on Talk Radio.
Hello.
It's going to be one of those shows. There's just a strange vibe in the air tonight. Let's go to Phil. Good evening, Phil.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
I'm doing very, very well. Sweaty, very sweaty, but I'm on top of the world, Phil. What you got for us?
Not a lot, really. I'm not lining me up at this time. I was just listening to the latest podcast. I'm on my way back. I've just been to the theatre to see a local version of Spamalot, because a friend of mine was appearing in it.
Now, when you say a local version of Spamalot, I mean, how local? It's an amateur dramatics performance, is it?
Yeah, they basically they get a sort of a licence to do their version of Spamalot, and then it's done locally.
Hey,
So
yeah.
this was...
Any good?
No, it was fantastic. Absolutely
I
fantastic.
said no. I said any good? You went no. I thought, oh blimey, but it was okay. It was fine. Oh, good. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Well done.
Good, excellent. Yeah. How's the TV awards? I've been offline.
It was ridiculous. I got screamed at on the red carpet. We were papped and we did interviews, and then I was up. The I'm a Celebrity won in a made-up category, best challenge show. It was up against Love Island.
What's the challenge?
Well, keeping it up, and then it was also up against Bullseye, The Krypton Factor, and also Clue, that show from the 1980s. And it won. And I went up on stage at the O2 Arena.
Yeah, well, let's face it. You won it. I mean, not the show.
I don't think so. It's the most popular show on British TV. It was always going to win. But well done, those guys. Well done, those guys.
No, I don't want to sound like an old school Coldplay fan or anything, but
yes.
I don't want you to get too famous. That's my problem, because I like it when you're sort of this level famous.
You like it when I'm struggling.
Well, that's one of your, natural qualities, and the fact that you're honest about that.
Yes.
But, been listening to you for a long time, following you for a long time, and it's like, I like it when you get a bit famous, but not too famous.
Well, Phil, listen, don't worry,
because doing this amazing podcast.
While my career is going from strength to strength, my personal life is collapsing around my ears, so there will always be that element of tension, ennui and disappointment in my performance.
Excellent, good to hear.
Nice one, Phil.
Last time I spoke to you, it was you were doing your New Year's Eve show. You were pre-recording it. It was about a couple of years ago on a previous station. But, fantastic work from what you've been doing so far. And
nice one, Phil.
Full support all the way, mate. You're a institution in this world.
Phil, would you like it if I cut you off rudely?
Oh, yeah.
There we go. It's a nice guy.
You're an institution.
Let us go to Jack. Good evening, Jack.
Hey, Ian.
Hey, Jack.
What's up, Ian?
Not a lot.
I'm glad you're in a good mood tonight.
Why is that then, Jack?
I don't know. I'd like it when people are happy, Ian. That's what I like. What I don't like, Ian, is skimmed milk and semi-skimmed milk. Why does it exist, Ian?
What's your beef with skimmed milk and semi-skimmed milk?
There is no health benefit at all. Skimmed milk, it's white water. You might as well get white food dye, put it in water. There is no nutritional value. No health benefits.
Well, I thought, wasn't it, that it's got less fat in it? Isn't that what it is?
Well, fat doesn't make you fat, Ian. And in fact, what they often do is add sugar to skim milk, and then that makes you fat.
Well, hang on. But no, I didn't say fat makes you fat. But aren't there health benefits to having less of certain types of fat in your diet?
I mean...
Well, are there, yes or no?
To an extent.
Okay, fine. So then that's why it exists, Jack.
Well, no, because I mean... Okay, for example, saturated fat, right, which is what they remove from whole milk to make skim milk.
Right.
It has blood sugar stabilising effects, and it slows the release of sugar into your bloodstream.
I would say, why don't you go and read a book?
And actually... I've read books, Ian. I've read many books.
Well, why don't you... But why are you so upset about milk?
Because it hurts me to see people deprive themselves of a nice.
Well, so I don't like the taste. I don't like the taste of full fat milk. I like the green. I don't like the blue milk. I like the green milk.
I feel like you've been brainwashed.
No, not at all. I don't like the taste of the blue milk. It's too rich for me.
Too rich for you, Ian. Why not indulge? Why not live that life?
Well, no, because I don't like it. Catherine wants to tip in.
Jack. What business is this of yours?
What do you mean? What business is it?
Someone's milk preference is completely personal.
No, it isn't, because it's about the health of the nation. It's about the happiness of the nation.
Oh.
Well, hang on. Which is it about? Is it about the health of the nation or the happiness of the nation? Because I would suggest I would suggest that the two are separate and they're not always compatible.
Jack.
I think it's a mixture of both.
Okay, right. So, does drinking the green milk make you less healthy than drinking the blue milk?
Well, actually, they did a study, and actually, you're a lot less likely to have diabetes if you drink whole milk.
Where is this study?
I can get it up for you, Ian. But
You've got this in front of you. You've got this on your computer screen in front of you now. Geez, yes. The internet is full of all kinds of wonders. I mean, starting from the base level of beautiful naked bodies, going up to the wonderful, wonderful works of art from all of the great artists around the world, be it music, be it painting, be it sculpture, be it movies. All of this stuff and everything in between is available. And you're looking up their health properties of red and green and blue milk? Jack?
People have different preferences in life, Ian. Mine just happens to be milk quality.
Well, exactly. If people have different preferences, and there you have answered it yourself, then let them. If you let me finish, Jack.
People aren't allowed a preference on this.
If you let me finish, if people have different preferences, then allow them to have their different preferences.
They're hurting themselves, Ian. I can't take it. I think I love too much, Ian.
Okay,
that's my problem.
Time out. I was going to say time out. Okay. You know what that means?
What does that mean, Ian?
Well, what do you think it means?
I mean, I feel like you're going to hang up. I feel like that's the logical conclusion of this debate.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong. No, you're wrong.
Oh.
I'm going to hang up. Well, hang on. You just said something, then I've said you're wrong, and you just said you know. So you're all over the shop. Time out, okay?
Okay.
Time out.
All right, Ian.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you and your friends think this phone call is going?
I mean, I don't know because I haven't asked them, Ian.
Okay. I'm just trying to work out what you're...
Why are you trying to talk about my social situation when I just want to talk about milk with you?
Because I don't
Do you
believe...
have to turn everything into a power play?
I don't believe that's what you want to talk about. I'm trying to work out... Jack, just calm down. Jack, just calm down. I know you do. I know you do. And I'm just trying to work out if this is a prank that you've set yourself, or whether it's your friends have set it as a challenge for you. I'm just trying to work out the parameters of this.
The only person I know who listens to this show is Caddick, and he certainly hasn't set me up for this.
Okay.
This isn't a prank. I want to express my views on milk.
Okay.
On a national.
Well, you've expressed your views on milk as a prank call. I would say it's up there with it's up there with Caddick's calls. It's in terms of manners, I'd say you're up there with Caddick in lack of manners.
You'll want to talk, Ian. Look, you just had a go at that lady, that poor lady who just wanted to talk about her washing up game. You were going right in there, Ian.
Yeah, in terms of manners, your manners are there with Caddick's and Wasim's. Very, very poor manners, rudeness, and not as clever as you think you are. So I'm going to give you, Jack, 3 out of 10.
That's the same score you gave me last time.
Well, it just shows there's no improvement, dude. And
I know. What am I doing wrong, Ian? If you were me, how would you improve, Ian? Don't tell me to jump off the M6 expressway.
Well, I wouldn't make a joke about suicide, Jack, because I don't think it's funny having lost people through it. So
I'm same here. I mean that's what came to mind when I thought what you'd say to me, because I think you hate me, Ian.
I don't have any feelings about you. At the moment, you're just filler.
Filler, like polyfiller. Do I eventually expand and then remain forever?
No, you get cut off quite soon. You're literally just filling airtime.
I'm quite happy with that.
Okay, I'm not, because it's dull, it's unimaginative.
It's your ratings, not mine, Ian.
You have displayed complete lack of respect and lack of manners, and you're nowhere near as funny or as clever as you think you are.
Ian, this is like you're reading off a script. It's like every time I just want to talk about something.
Well, then you should take it on board. I'm a very wise.
Satisfy you.
I'm a very wise soul, and I think maybe you should take some of my wisdom on board.
Why do you have to turn everything into a power play when I just want to talk about like whole milk?
There's no power play. I hold all of the power. There's no play. I hold all of the power.
Well, why? Well, if you're so confident of your power, why do you have to try and belittle people?
No, I don't. I don't have to. I'm not belittling. I'm pointing out your inadequacies. If you feel belittled, that's your issue.
Well,
I'm not belittling you. I'm just stating facts.
Okay, why do you have to point out people's inadequacies or perceived inadequacies?
Well, they are inadequacies because what you're doing is pathetic.
It's not. I just want to talk about milk, Ian.
No, you don't, and you keep hammering on about that, and you're just embarrassing yourself. It's not working, Jack.
Well, I mean, you say that, but I got to talk about milk. We had a nice chat about milk. I feel satisfied with my milk conversation.
Okay, and
then this is just
yes. Milk is not a funny word. There are funny words. Milk is not a funny word. Cheese isn't a funny word.
I'm aware. I wasn't implying that it was a funny word, Ian.
Jack, I'm going to say goodbye. You're a very rude young man.
That's not very kind.
It is kind.
How's that supposed to make me feel?
I don't care, but it is kind. It is kind because I'm giving you the gift of my wisdom and my honesty.
I think if you took other people's wisdom on, I think you'd be,
Okay, well, I listen to. I take on a lot of wisdom, but you should be grateful that I am being honest with you.
Well,
honesty is a rare commodity, as you well know,
like
Jack.
Every time I ring up Ian, you just completely misunderstand me by miles.
No. I understand you better than you understand yourself, young man. There is, of course, a simple solution to that.
Okay.
You don't phone up anymore.
I just want to talk about some things, and you just turn it into this every time, this weird power play.
Well, no, you keep bringing up a power play. There is no play. I have the power. You have none.
Then why do you need to express it when I just want to talk about milk?
What's the point of having power if you don't express it?
I don't know. Well, I mean, you call me rude, but
you're very rude.
Keep trying to sort of...
No, I don't. I don't keep doing anything. I keep holding a mirror up to you, and you keep recoiling from your reflection.
Ian, I just tried to talk about milk. That's what I tried to do this evening.
Yeah. And it was dull. And it was dull.
I don't care if it's dull. It's what I wanted to talk to you about.
Well, but you don't have. Here's an interesting thing. You don't have a given right to come on the radio and talk about your boring, made-up subjects. You don't have that right.
Why is that a made-up subject? You're going back to the
No. Address the issue. You don't have the right. You don't have the right just to come on a radio show and talk about whatever you want to talk about. That's not an inalienable right.
I'm aware it's not in our.
Okay, so if you come and play in my back garden, then you play by my rules. That seems obvious.
I don't know what rules I've broken. I just talked about whole milk.
Okay, Jack. Well, listen. Poor show, but thanks for calling in.
Thanks, Ian. Good night.
What a rude young man. What a horrible, rude young man. Him, Kadir and Wasim are on my shit list. I'll read you an email I got from Wasim. God, it's the most passive-aggressive thing of all time. I'll read it to you in a bit. But poor old Jack. He tried, and it just didn't work. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
The radio show where the owls are not what they seem.
Do you or have you ever watched Twin Peaks?
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
We could be dreaming and meeting each other in our dreams.
On Talk Radio.
Told you it's going to be one of those nights. Hasn't it got a psychedelic twist to it, huh? If you weren't in dropping acid in Carnaby Street in 1967, this is as close to it as we're ever going to get. 0344 499 1000. Your wish is our command, dear listener. Good evening, Nigel.
Oh, good evening, Ian.
Good evening. Very sad news about Neil Diamond.
What, has he died?
No, he's been found guilty of murder. He's murdered 50 people.
No, he died some time ago.
No.
Neil Diamond.
Wow, gosh. Well, this is going to be... Well, in this case, this is going to be good news for you. He's got Parkinson's.
Oh, so it must have been another one I was thinking
Must have been another Neil Diamond. Maybe it was a Neil Diamond...
Somebody with a similar voice.
You're thinking of Jim Diamond.
Oh, was it Jim Diamond? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
No, Neil Diamond.
So he's been found of what?
He's been found alive. He was shipwrecked and found alive on a desert island, but he'd murdered 50 people to survive.
Oh, I don't believe that.
Hashtag Song Sung Blue. Would you like to do a tribute to Neil Diamond?
No.
Oh.
I didn't listen to his music very much. I saw him on the TV.
You're right, Nigel. Sod him.
Yes. Screw that loser.
Was you invited to the TV award?
I was invited and I went.
Oh, how did you fit it in with the radio then?
I went. I stuck around for the award that the show I was in was up for. We won the award, and then I came here.
But the Anton Deck, was it the award with you and Anton Deck?
It was the award with me and Anton Deck. Yes.
Oh, that's a good guess. I didn't know because I didn't see it all.
Oh, well, you didn't see it. Well, I was up on
half of it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was up on stage with Anton Deck.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, I was watching it earlier, the first hour and a half. Then I got fed up with it.
This was in the first 20 minutes.
The first day or so, and I got fed up with it, and then I went into the bedroom to call my girlfriend, and then I must have missed you a bit.
Well, we were on in the first 20 minutes. We were on the award, I think, was about 10 minutes to 8.
So I must have missed the first bit then, and gone in halfway through.
Yes.
Oh, well, never mind.
Did you go in halfway through with your girlfriend? Let's not even ask that question.
No.
So what have you got for us tonight, Nigel, on this night of nights?
So, did you enjoy it there? Was it good?
Yes, I enjoyed it, and yes, it was good.
And you met Anton Deck again?
I met Anton Deck. I put my hand on both their shoulders, and then I shook their hands a little bit later.
Actually on the stage. You were on stage.
Yes.
I missed this.
Yes, I got.
Will you repeat it later in the night? Do you think?
I'd probably not. No.
Oh, never mind. Mate, perhaps you could make a copy of DVD and send it to me.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Here's the thing, Nigel. Why don't you imagine it?
Yeah.
You know what they'll look like.
Use your Imaginarium.
two short people and a tall man.
That's it.
That's it.
He's got it. He's got
It's
it.
like you were there.
How tall are Ant and Dec? Are they very tall?
No, Ant is the taller one. Ant is 5'1", and Dec, I think, is
Really?
4'8". But
I thought
he
they were
wears
about 5'6".
no, he wears lifts in his shoes,
What?
so he comes up to about 5 foot. But yeah, and you know those orthopaedic shoes for people that have got one leg shorter than the other?
Yes.
Well, he's got two of those.
Oh. So I'd be taller than them then.
Yep.
What are you then?
About 5'10" or 11, something like that. Nearly 6. Well, 5'10", I'd say.
Okay, well
That's not too bad, is it?
That's not too bad in terms if they're going to kill the people based on their height, starting from the shortest working up, you'd be okay for a while until we worked out an escape plan.
I've got to sing the song quietly because of the neighbours, but I'll do you a song if you a Frank Sinatra one.
But not Neil Diamond.
No, because I haven't got a Neil Diamond song ready. I've got a backing to this one, singing it live.
Okie doke. Away you go.
So it's She Gets Too Hungry. That's I can't remember.
She Gets Too Hungry by Frank.
She Gets Too Hungry. What's it called?
She Gets Too Hungry by Frank Sinatra.
What's the song called?
Now I want to do a song called She Gets Too Hungry.
But that's not the name of the song, though.
Oh.
It's She Gets. No, that's not the same. Lady's a Tramp, isn't it? Yeah,
Lady is a Trump. Okay.
Yeah, here we go then.
Here we go. Look forward to this.
I'll just put the.
Okay, where you go.
I'll just press the knob in.
Yep, we go. Yep.
One, two. She gets too.
Let's go to Sean. Good evening, Sean.
Hi.
Hey, Sean.
Hey. I just wanted to ring up because I've named my dog after Neil Diamond. Just as I thought it was a fitting tribute to call up about dogs. Maybe have a bit of a question to the rest of the public about them. Just the irritations you have. I was sitting here watching TV and then obviously listening to you on the radio. And the thing that bugs me is you hear that, you know, that noise of the chewing, and you look over and you see the dog just chewing at its nuts. It's not great.
You sure it was the dog chewing its nuts and not your mum?
Oh, it could be.
Yeah.
No, it had a lipstick. It had the lipstick.
Oh, the dog
It was
lipstick.
really
There's
bothering me.
nothing more embarrassing than a dog with its lipstick.
No, it needs to just push it back in.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Well, why don't you go and push it back in, Sean? There's a good lad. Let's go to Pete. Good evening, Pete.
G'day, Ian. How you going?
I'm okay, thanks, Pete. What have you got?
Some fruitcake calls calling in tonight. Yeah, last night I believe you were asking why people call them talk shows.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking about this for a while now. And I think I've got the answer.
Okay. Whereabouts are you from, Pete?
Australia, mate.
Which part of Australia?
Ealing, mate.
Sorry?
Ealing.
Ealing, Australia?
Yeah.
Whereabouts is that in Australia?
Like West New London.
Okay. Thanks for calling, Pete.
It's India.
Oh, Pete, I didn't realise you had a punchline. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. He was.
Look at this I've just been sent.
What's that?
Should I press go?
Yeah, go on. What's that? It's a gif of someone orgasming.
Yeah.
Why has he sent you that?
Don't know. Apparently he's #woke.
Right, I'm blocking him. Don't send videos like that to my mate. For crying out loud. Blocking him. Sorry, Pete, I'm sorry. He had a gag and I ruined... Pete, if you want to call back and do the gag, I'll let you do it. I'm sorry, Pete. I trampled all over that because I was suspicious because of the milk call, Pete. We'll get Pete back, get him back, and let's get him back on and we'll let him do that after the top of the hour because that was beautiful and I feel a little bit guilty there. Sorry, Pete. That was normally I'm quite good at sensing where it's going and I didn't there, so I apologise. Jonathan and Chuck, stay there. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Tribute to Neil Diamond. Well, it does raise... We did ask this the other day. Why do people call phone-in radio shows? And I wouldn't mind exploring that a little bit more. Not necessarily this show, because this show is different from all of the other phone-in shows that are on, in that we sit here and we talk nonsense. But why people phone up to talk about, to think that them sharing their opinion on Brexit or Trump or Muslims, why that has... hang on a second. Yes, Nigel, we just lost you just at the end, but we got it, just apart from the last little bit.
You got it all in most.
We got it all in, as the actress said to the bishop. Here we go. Thanks very much indeed. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Everywhere around the world, they're coming to America. Everywhere that flag's unfurled, they're coming to America. How are they getting there? On the boats and on the planes. They're coming to America. Never looking back again. They're coming to America. It was a little bit early, so on the boats and on the planes, they're coming to America.
Still coming.
Never looking back again. They're coming to America. Don't it seem to you?
Oh,
I don't know the words.
Ian.
To this one. Don't know the words to this one. Thought I knew this one. Hang on a minute. America. Neil Diamond. I tell you what threw me is it doesn't have the speaky bit at the beginning. I was going to do the speaky bit.
that's right. It's the music's fault.
Yeah. Oh, I was right. We don't have to do it again. Never looking back again. They're come. I was right. Home. To it seems so far away. But we're travelling like today, in the eye of the storm, in the eye of the storm. Home to a new and a shining place. Make our bed and we'll say our grace. Freedom's light burning warm. Freedom's light burning warm.
What?
There we go. Everywhere around the world, they're bloody coming to America. Every time that flag's unfurled, they're bloody coming to America. Got a dream to take them there. They're coming to America. Got a dream they come to share. They're coming to America.
When though?
They're coming to America. They're coming to America. They're coming to America. They're coming to. They're coming today.
Oh,
they're today. Today, yes, today. This is for the ladies. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. Of thee I sing. Key change coming. Of thee I sing today. Today! Did it with my eyes closed because I meant it. Today! Today goes on and on and on. It's not quite as good, that song, as I remembered it. 03444991000 is the telephone number. Let's go to Jonathan from wherever he may be. Good evening, Jonathan.
Evening, Ian.
Evening, Jonathan. What have you got for us tonight?
You should do a testosterone test on the radio.
Oh, a testosterone test. Yeah, sure. Or, yeah, why not? Okay, how do we do it? What is it? What do I have to do?
Well, you have to measure your levels of testosterone.
Do I have to ejaculate into a jar?
I don't think so.
Could I do that anyway?
If you wanted.
Thanks. Okay, well, how do you do it? What do you do?
I'm not sure exactly. All I know is that a couple of a couple of guys took a testosterone test.
Yep.
And they were all found to have below average levels.
What the hell are you saying about... Can we not just, to save time, can we just not just call it a test? Because the testosterone test, just say, so you should do a test. And every time anyone says anything about a test, we
Get the jars out.
we know it's a testosterone test,
Right,
okay,
yeah.
guys? Okay? And if it's not a testosterone test, then they can specify driving test,
Spelling test.
seeing test, stuff like that. What do they call a seeing test? There's a word.
An eye test.
That's it. That's the fella. Thank you very much indeed. So who are these people that have got more estrogen than testosterone in their bodies?
I know.
Yes?
Women.
Ooh, she's quick for a girl.
Yeah, well, the guys who took the test had below levels of 300 and so, and they put it down to overconsumption of soy products.
Soy products, you say?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, isn't there an issue that all of the fish are turning female? Is this true? Because of the amount, because
of contraceptives in the water.
The contraceptive pill is estrogen, right? So women are peeing out like high concentrates of estrogen, which then goes down the lavvy, goes down the drains, and you know how water works. It ends up in the sea, and so the fish are like chomping on this, and they're turning into Nancy boys. No, they're not. But they're over time they are evolving so that there are more lady fish than men fish, and that means that we're not going to have any fish at some point.
It's not just birth control, though. It's plastic in general, because there are mimickers in the plastic.
Hang on, I don't think microbeads turn fish gay, do they?
I don't think it's. I just think it's plastic itself. It gives off estrogen mimickers.
Okay, does it?
Yeah.
So they eat it, and that has the same effect as eating or drinking estrogen.
Yeah.
Isn't that plastic? Plastic. Here's the thing, right? I remember being a kid, and we would laugh at the olden days, like the 40s, with Bakelite. And Bakelite was basically kind of an old-fashioned plastic.
Hard,
right?
brittle plastic, yeah.
And we would laugh at that, and we would celebrate in the 70s and 80s our plastic world. Everything was plastic, and boy, oh boy, we were wonderfully happy with that. And now, we're all starting to go, maybe plastic's not the best idea that we've ever had as a species. And we're all realising that actually plastic has screwed the planet. We've screwed the planet up more in the last 40 years with plastic than we have done with pretty much anything else.
Well, you can have plastic substitute by using hemp oil.
You really are an old head. Hey, did you listen to Howard Hughes on Sunday and the Nostradamus bullshitter?
Yes.
What did you make of his bullshine?
It could have been longer.
It was on for about an hour, wasn't he?
No, only about 40 minutes.
Oh, I apologise.
Was he the one who had the mood and the tood?
He was quite... I only heard like the last 10, 15 minutes of it. By the way, if you don't know, Howard Hughes does a great show on Talk Radio, Sunday nights, 10 o'clock. The Unexplained, and it's all kind of weird and wonderful stuff. And he had this guy on talking about Nostradamus. I heard the last 10 minutes. But yeah, he really had an attitude, didn't he?
Yeah, he's probably used to journalists taking the mick out of him, though.
Well, they should research. They should research Howard Hughes, because he's the only one that gives him a fair crack of the whip. But
Howard Hughes said to him at one point, very politely, "Oh, you're losing me a bit now." And he said, "Well, that's because you think in black and white and I talk colour."
Well, you talk bullshine, dude. If people can't follow you, then that's your fault. Okay, Jonathan, thank you, mate.
Thanks.
Ta-ta. Let's go to Chuck Winkle. Evening, Chuck.
No, keep it down.
Hello, Chuck.
Howdy, cowboy.
Howdy, Chuck.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Don't send it over.
Is it a good time, Chuck? Have we come to you at a bad time?
But it's potentially a bad time for the world. Let's put it that way.
Well, what's going on now, Chuck?
We're getting right.
Hello.
No. Right. Yeah, we're getting the report through, but it's a big one.
What do you mean? What do you mean? It's the big one.
America, Russia, we're at war.
Sorry?
We're at war.
When is this breaking news now?
Yeah, we got an official line coming from the Commander-in-Chief, Donald Trump, from the White House. Get a few... Yeah.
Flipping it, that is out. So what's happening? Because I haven't heard anything about this.
Well, we got a transcript from the actual Donald Trump himself. If you want me to read it for you.
Yes, please, if you could.
Okay, you say Russia. They know Russia, and let me tell you, they know what's coming. We got bombs. We got the biggest bombs, and great guys in America.
Yes.
They go over there, drop big bombs, and great. I loved it. So this is verbatim.
Right, have you started reading out the statement yet, or is that you?
No, that was the statement.
Oh, blimey! Okay.
Yeah.
So should people be panicked?
Well, bloody heck, John Wayne. I mean, it's well, isn't it?
Okay, all right. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's phone up... shall we phone up the National Guard in America to see what measures they're putting in place to deal with this?
Keep it down, Max. Keep it down.
Okay,
yeah.
We're phoning up the National Guard. I'll let you speak to them, Chuck, okay?
Right. Right. Jack and Ori. No. Yeah. Hello?
Oh, no, hang on a minute. Where's that gone? Where's that gone? Where have we lost that? Where have we gone? Here we go.
To 4:30 p.m. Please hang up and dial 703-601-6767. Again, that number is 703-601-6767.
Okay, let's give them a call. They've just given us... It's quite noisy where you are, Chuck. Is everything okay? Are you in a top-secret bunker?
No, we're at the American News Yes Please Network. It's very busy, with the news that we're going to war with Russia.
Okay, let's try. This is the National Guard in America. Let's keep our fingers crossed.
I'm going to a little quiet corner. Jack and Ori. Quiet it down, Max. Quiet it down.
Sounds like they're already on it.
Thank you for calling the National Guard Bureau Press Desk. If you are a member of the media and have reached this recording Monday through Friday between the hours of 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, please hang up and dial 703-607-2584 for immediate assistance.
Bloody hell,
After
all right.
normal duty hours.
This is... flipping heck.
So, I think this is the repercussion from the declaration of war.
Yeah, well, this is it. They must be very, very busy. Let's try.
Right.
Let's try this. Okay, here we go. Okay. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Fingers crossed for the world, John Wayne. Like, comes the bloody war.
Why has it got a UK?
Yeah, that's the UK. Who's this?
Thank you for calling the National Guard Bureau Public Affairs Office. If you are a member of the media and have reached this recording Monday through Friday between the hours of 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, please hang up and dial 703-601-6767 to reach a member of our press.
Right, we did that. Right, we'll tell you what we'll do. We're just going to dial an American number at random, okay?
Yeah,
because that's really starting to get on my wick. Here we go. Let's try this.
This really could be the end of the world, John Wayne.
I know. Here we go. We're just phoning up a number at random in America.
Right.
Come on, guys.
Pick up.
Hi, this is Ed Doherty. I'm currently away from my desk. Please leave a message. Thanks.
Yeah.
At the tone, please record your message. When you are finished recording, hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, that's Chuck Winkle from the American News Yes Please Network. You want to maybe get your sweet ass out of there, because we at war with Russia. We definitely at war with Russia. Coming out of the White House, big Jeholy. So just watch your ass, mate, and, get yourself out of America. It's all going to kick off over soon. Right.
You finished? You finished, Chuck?
Yes, I was finished. I forgot his name already. Jesus Christ.
Okay, well, that's good. Well, thanks for calling, Chuck.
Yeah, God bless all of you.
Okay, well, it's a dark night, isn't it? It's a dark old night. If America is at war with Russia, we'll try and get a statement to see whether I guess we'll be at war with Russia. Okay, well, it's a war special. 0344 499 1000. Let's see if we can compile a list. War gets such a bad name, but war, what is it actually good for? Let's try and come up with 10 things that war really is good for. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Neon lit night talk for torch singers, trolley dollies, and train wrecks like me.
Never know just where the conversation will take you.
What I'm going to say sounds ridiculous.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000. We're compiling a list. War, what is it actually good for? War is good for medical advances. The glue they put in wounds was developed during the Vietnam conflict. That's where we got super glue from. It's from Vietnam. So that's a great thing. So we're going to top 10 list of things that war is good for. Number 1, glue.
I quite like the World War II posters.
Posters.
They were quite snazzy, weren't they?
There we go. Posters. There we go. Perfect. We're doing some great stuff. Good evening, CJ. What you got for us?
Hello. I think war's good for socks.
Yep. Why is that?
Because socks advance, the more wars happen, because in the trenches they need bigger boots, bigger socks, and to help the feet.
Yes. I don't think you could find, excuse me, the last sock advancement was in the 1950s. I think it was about 1956. I don't know. I haven't read it was a long time ago I read the book. When remember when you were a kid and you'd watch old movies, and in the old movies, the gentleman would sometimes take his trousers off, and he would have little things holding his socks up.
Oh, suspenders.
Suspenders to hold his socks up. And as a kid, I'd look at that and go, well, what is that? And of course, that was before they put elastic at the top of the hole in the sock, and that was the last sock advancement. You're saying there's more? Go on.
Yes, because I think in the 90s is when they started putting little rubber treads on the bottom of some socks to stop grandparents and children slipping over.
And also in the 90s they went sock crazy.
Yep.
They also did that thing where they it had individual toes in the socks.
Did you ever try those?
Yes, I did, and it was bloody weird, but I wish I'd stuck with it. I really think it was the way forward. We're wearing mittens on our feet. And you know who wears mittens on their hands? Children and Eskimos. So I don't want to be racist or ageist, but those guys are idiots.
There is a reason I rang up. I just tweeted you a video clip of the boss.
Yes.
And it wasn't a jokey one. It was a genuine conversation video from Danny saying, this is what we do with Talk Radio. We invest in talent.
But the reason I'm suspicious is because you send quite nasty videos about Denny and stuff. And the thing is, right, he's my boss, right?
Yeah.
And he signed me up for another 2 years. So I've got a lot.
This is where things get interesting.
Oh.
Forgive me for the interruption.
Yes.
I've spoke to Denny.
Okay. Where do they get interesting? I speak to him every day.
Well,
not every day.
Because he messaged me on Twitter saying, thanks for the funny videos, appreciate that, and he followed me on Twitter, and I went, I'm glad you saw the funny side of it, keep up the good work. And I just wanted to send that video just to sort of...
Well, there you go, you see, and that shows what a great boss he is, the fact that he's reaching out to people that many might perceive as trolls. Listen, he's got a tough old gig, right? He's got a balancing act of artistic... creativity and free spirit, and also running a business that is governed by pounds and listeners. Shut up for a second. I think he's done a brilliant job with the first 2 years, and we now enter the second 2 years, and he's going from strength to strength. And I consider him a boss. I consider him kind of a friend. We don't really hang out, but I've got a lot of respect for him. I've had some flipping brilliant arguments with Denny, where at the end of it we've both, on the phone primarily, but we've both metaphorically shook hands and walked away. I couldn't have done that with my bosses at some of the other places. Big arguments about massive disagreements on the direction this show should go in and stuff like that. And at the end of it, we've kind of shook hands and still had the same respect for each other. So, good.
And that's what the video was.
There you go.
It was him complimenting yourself.
There we go. Thank you very much indeed. Let's go to... I'm not sure how long it says Donald Trump, but let's see. Good evening.
Congratulations, Donald Trump.
No, it's
President Trump.
It's a piss-poor Donald Trump soundboard. And there we go. The switchboard is empty. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Let me read you an email. This is from Wasim, former caller to the show. I'll read this out. Hi, Ian. Now, this is the guy that phones up, and it's just weird. It's just weird on the phones. Just weird. Mm-hmm. And then afterwards always sends a passive-aggressive email.
First of all, he took exception to being what he thought was being cut off. But the thing is, we don't have a fader in here, so everyone gets cut off.
Everyone gets cut off. And also, he kind of says he likes it when I dish out the treatment to other people. But it's that thing of people thinking they get the show, so they should be exempt from the rules, in inverted commas, of the show. Hi, Ian. I doubt you would even care. But I just wanted to say the assumptions you made about me the other day when I called in were totally false and very judgmental. I was also surprised at Kath calling me possessive. Very mean of her, considering I thought she was cool up to that point. And especially at the end of the show where you went by the camera and called me a perv, as well as earlier on accusing me of sending in that cookie which you found out was Kadir the next day. It's like being the dinner lady at school with these guys.
Also, I don't think I called him possessive. I said some listeners get possessive.
Well, this is if you don't know what passive aggressive means, listen to this. Whenever I've ever called your show, I've never sought to try and take it over. I just had my own contribution to make, which I thought I was allowed to do like everyone else. And the reason why I act weird on occasions is because I want to be a bit of an idiot on purpose, given how that kind of thing seems to be encouraged on the show. Au contraire, no, the thing that's encouraged is people phoning up and being themselves. If they're idiots, they're idiots. People phoning up and being themselves. I've heard you take on people like Ken and Paul on your show in the past from podcasts that are available and loved how you put them in their rightful places. I said, did you miss me the other day because I was going to follow it up with a joke, not to try and be arrogant or push the show in the way that I want it to go, and nor do I have any sense of entitlement whatsoever. I have said my piece, so take care, dude, and I will gladly F off now. Okay, right. So what that means is I've done my bit. I don't want you to reply. I replied. This is my reply. You're actually insane. He replied, I'm not actually lol, and I'm not going to trade insults via email, Ian. Take care. So basically, he wants to dish out the insults. He'll say they weren't insults, but I'm not allowed to reply. So I replied, no, you're going to insult me and then run away. Seriously, man, the worst case of passive aggression I've ever encountered. Never phone my show again. He replied, Ian, get over yourself, please.
Did you write Perlise?
No. I don't need to insult you. I'm a very genuine person, and I say what I think, OK? There you go, you see. You say, I have a member of my family that does this, and I've met people who say what they think, and if you can't deal with that, that's tough. But those people then can't take it when someone else says what they think about them. They can't take it. That's mean, that's rude, that's attacking. But they're allowed to say what they think. Mental health has been a problem for me in my life, as has bullying. So when I initially called your show, it was to talk about this. I have no intention whatsoever of calling your show. It's not the be-all and end-all of radio shows. Damn, man, you seem to like to accuse people of things that you are guilty of yourself. Oh. Bye. So he's got to leave it with the thing. So I replied, I think it's you that needs to get over yourself, buddy. So far, the end.
It won't be the end. It's never over.
It won't be the end. And he'll call up again at some point, and he's welcome to call up. But just, you know, I just, there's and I don't know if it's the jungle that's attracted them. I mean, the jungle's attracted so many lovely callers and listeners, so many. But there is this thing, this sense of entitlement, this thing that people think they know me, that they get the show, and there's just something. And there's been a few of them. And the caller we had earlier and another guy, just a few of them calling up who kind of, you know, just seem to... I don't know. live call. It sounds like bombs mixed with farts.
That time Caddick fell asleep.
You all right? You should... Shove it up. 0344 499 1000. Bruce, John, Ewan, stay there. We'll come to you in a bit. This is the Late Night Alternative with me, Iain Lee, her Catherine Boyle on Talk Radio.
No rules nocturnal nattering for nightbirds, nurses, and Nosferatu.
All right, cool.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000 is the phone number if you want to give us a call. We're kind of taking our hats off to Neil Diamond, who's announced today that he's retiring from live touring because he's got Parkinson's. And if anyone's ever... I've seen Neil Diamond live, I'm going to say 8 times. It could be more, but 8 times. And man alive, one of the greatest live performers out there. And I wish I'd gone to see... I didn't go and see him this tour at the O2. I didn't. So you think he'll be round again. He comes round every 2 years, 2-3 years, and that was it. That was the last one. He's had to cancel his tour of Australia and the Far East and all of that. He's got Parkinson's. He says he's still going to carry on recording, which is great. So there'll be more good songs, but no more good concerts like that. It's a real shame. And it's this thing that I was saying, you've got to see these people while they're still there. I'm going to go, if Dylan does a show this year, I'm going to go and see Dylan. It's going to be rubbish. His voice is awful. But I want to...
It'll be Dylan.
I want to say I've seen Dylan.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen McCartney a couple of times. I do think we should take that night off in May and go and see Sparks.
Yep.
Bare Naked Ladies are playing in April. I'm going to take a night off and go and see them. I do think if there are pop stars or rock stars or classical musicians or singers or that you like, and they announce a tour, go and see them, man. Go and see them because you just don't know what's going to happen. Particularly for me, because all the people I like are from the 60s and 70s, and they are now in their 60s and 70s. And I'm amazed every time I go and see the Beach Boys. I think, well, that's the last time I'm seeing those guys, and they surprise me 18 months later, which is wonderful. But you've got to go and see these people. And I'm going to kick myself that I didn't go and see Diamond this time. But I've seen him so many times, and I've taken my mum quite a few times, and seen him a couple of times without her. And it just wonderful shows. And I think it's really, really sad. And of course there'll be people going, well, my granddad's got Parkinson's, and you're not sad. Do you know what? I am sad about anyone that gets Parkinson's because it's such a horrible, horrible disease. It's not in my life, but I know there's a lot of similarities between that and MS, which is in my life. A lot of similarities. So I kind of know the effects it has. And any disease that makes, giant people small, like Parkinson's, like MS, like Alzheimer's, then they're so shitty. And I just think it's, really sad to hear that about Neil Diamond today. And I grew up with Neil Diamond, my parents were working a lot, so they sent me to his house. That's a joke. My parents would listen to Neil Diamond and Dr. Hook. That was the music I was raised on, and as a kid I hated it, and then I realised it was all brilliant. So that's kind of got me down a bit today. So we're taking our hats off to Neil. We might do a little bit more seeing later on if the vibe is strong. But you can call in about other stuff as well. We've talked about the National Television Awards, passive aggression, and anything else that you fancy. We're trying to compile a list of what war is actually good for. As it turns out, America is at war with Russia. So far, we've got glue and posters. I'm not putting socks down. I don't think sock development has been advanced much.
I mean, you could throw it in with uniforms.
Yeah. I mean, everyone loves a sexy soldier.
Oh my!
Although for me, it's the police lady. I like the police lady.
The police lady.
Yeah, I do. And when on the way home, there's a petrol station in Hammersmith that's open all night, but it's one where you can go in, and there's a guy in there that always wants to talk to me about radio and stuff, and I kind of so I'm trying to avoid it. But I go in there, and it's obviously a stop-off point for coppers. So
right, like Nando's.
Yeah. So I'm in there about 1:30, 1:45, and there can be as many as like 12 coppers in there, and there's police ladies in there,
police officers.
They're police ladies, and there's just something. There's just something going on there.
Authority.
I told you that one night that when I was working at another radio station, LBC, and I came out. It's when they used to send me a cab to pick me up, and I came out, and this police car drove past with 2 police ladies in. And it drove past really slowly. I was just stood out, and it drove past really slowly. And they drove past, and I thought, OK. Then they came back, and they pulled over, and they said, "Everything all right?" I said, "Oh, yeah, I've just..." And they recognised me. I said, "Yeah, I'm just waiting for a cab." They said, "Oh. Do you want a lift?"
Wow.
And I went, "No, I'm waiting for a cab, it'd be all right." They said, "Oh, well, if you're sure." And they drove off. And as they drove off, I thought, oh, no. Oh, no, what have I done? That was so stupid. Oh, no.
My mum had a similar proposition in the 1970s from 2 male police officers. It was slightly less sexy than that.
Yeah.
It was actually, horrible.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I don't
They told us
condone...
to hop in the back.
Oh, no, I don't condone...
1970s, innit?
I don't condone that, but I condone what happened to me a lot. I condone that so much. Let's go to John. Good evening, John.
Hi, Ian. Hi, Catherine. You all right?
Hiya.
What you got for us, John?
Well, first off, I just want to say that I have red milk in my tea and green milk in my coffee. So
red milk in the tea, green milk in the coffee. I find the colour of milk in hot drinks doesn't make so much. I don't really notice it. I notice it on. You notice it on cereal.
Cereal, definitely.
I wouldn't put red milk on cereals.
No. You notice it colour-wise, but I don't think you'd notice it with a blindfold on.
No.
Because, your tea does look stronger with the red milk in.
It's just a touch creamier for me for tea, for the green, even the green milk.
I can enjoy... I've really got into shreddies recently, much to the disappointment of my boys, because it means they've got no shreddies. And I can have, 3 bowls of shreddies. Boom, straight like that.
Do you have them neat, or do you put stuff on them?
No, just what stuff are you putting on shred? I put milk on.
What? I put banana and honey on my shreddies.
And your shreddies? I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't hack shreddies. But I agree, Matt. And I said to the caller, Jack, that blue milk was too rich for me. Blue milk on shreddies, I can dig. We don't get blue milk anymore in our house, but I could dig it on shreddies.
We don't. Do you remember you used to get the milk bottles this time of year? They'd freeze and you'd have the cream rise to the top, just the lid through the top of the thing.
Hey, well, milk. Where's the Daily Mail? Because milk deliveries are coming back. You seen this?
I've got one.
You seen this?
I wouldn't have seen it. I don't read the Daily Mail, afraid.
No, nor do I. It's racist and obnoxious. But Return of the Milkman. I read it so you guys don't have to. Glass milk bottles that can be returned, washed and reused are making a comeback as the backlash against plastic grows. Milk doesn't come... Backlash. Doorstep deliveries of glass bottles are up by a quarter in just 2 years to about 1 million, according to industry body Dairy UK. With families turning away from plastic, the traditional milkman is the best option for those who are switching to relatively heavy glass bottles.
Right, tell you why I went to a milkman.
Yeah, well, you sure you want to tell
Robin
us this?
Asquith.
Yeah.
Yeah, is your husband listening? Eh?
Don't,
I nearly said something really offensive that basically tied in with your comment about the police officers, where they said to your mum, "Do you want to come in the back?"
Yeah.
Flipping heck. I know, isn't that?
Gosh, and we're friends.
I stopped myself.
Good.
There we go.
But you still thought it.
Yeah.
Self-censorship was fine.
Well, if I thought, well, hang on a minute. If I thought it, is it a crime? Thought police?
Well, you told me about it, so it is kind of putting that into my mind too,
I
even
wanted
without saying it. So it's even more.
It was a humble brag. Hashtag humble brag.
Anyway,
yes,
I got the milkman because when I first had little babies, and they go to milk, right, and they've got milk in everything, haven't they? Because you're supposed to fill them full of dairy. I found myself going into Tesco every day, and you never just buy milk. You always end up buying extra crap, and I was spending a fortune. So to keep me out of Tesco's, we got a milkman.
Well, how often does he deliver?
Once he used to deliver more often, but now that we're a bit more grown up, and I'm not there very often during the day. Once 3 times a week.
Can I tell you the sexiest image in the world, John? And this goes back to me being a kid, right? Talk about weird things that stimulate you, right? Yeah. And even now, just thinking of it gets me horny. Right?
Oh God!
A milk bottle. So you were never allowed it as a kid. A milk bottle full of orange juice.
Oh,
Remember they used to do those?
You still get it. Yeah, you get them in the shop still. Even my corner shop does it now.
God, I would love to be holding an ice-cold milk bottle, pop the lid, and just chug it down. Orange juice.
Do you want me to order you one?
Oh, yes, I do!
All right, mate.
Yes, I do! And I'll tell you what we'll do, guys. We'll film it and we'll put it online. You can watch me drinking it, yeah? Watch me stroking one out.
Oh, my God.
No, they're drinking the orange. That's what it means. Anyway, John, what have you called in for, you pervert?
That and as well, while we're on that, if the milkman's coming back, are they going to bring the Corona Man back, where you used to wash your bottle out and get 10p back for your bottles of fizzy drink?
Well, no, you joke about that, but there's talk about doing that, isn't there, for recycling, because no one recycles anymore.
Yeah, but not a man in a van.
Did a man in a van used to...
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah, he's come round with a crate of pop.
Yeah.
So hang on, so he would deliver pop and you drink it and then you clean the bottle and he'd collect it?
Give the bottle back and 10p on the lid, so you can take it to your local shop and they give you 10p.
My gran and granddad used to get it, right?
Yeah.
And they used to keep it, and it must be a throwback to when they had an outside toilet.
Yeah.
They used to keep it in the downstairs toilet, all the pop.
I remember taking the seltzer sprays.
All right.
I remember taking those back to the shop, and I remember taking them back quite a lot. But who was drinking seltzer?
What is it? What do you do with it?
It's like tonic water. It's fizzy tonic water.
Right.
So you spray it into your drinks. You remember the
What,
things?
booze?
So you got your big. It's like a big. Do you remember these, John? So it's like a big glass bottle
with
but
a
like
spray
a
on
white.
With almost like an ivory style.
Yeah, exactly.
Trigger on it.
Stream thing. Yeah. I remember.
And you would take them back, and you'd get money back. And I remember taking loads of those back. But no one in my family really drank spirits or was doing. Where did we get them from, Joe? My sister. Where did we get them from?
Because when I was growing up, we had like an Only Fools and Horses style bar.
Classy!
Smoky glass top bar with a front panel, all cushioned. And so behind the bar, we had those that you were just talking about, the spritzers, and we had Crusher milkshakes and all that sort of stuff.
I love a Crusher milkshake.
I don't know where we got them from, but we had those in the house all the time.
Can I just say, Crusher, I don't know what you've done with your formula, guys, but go back to the old days. We had a bottle of strawberry Crusher that must have been in our cupboard 12 years, and every summer we'd get like two, Crusher, a glass full of milk, the strawberry Crusher. There's nothing like it. Nothing like it.
Have you seen these ones for lazy kids now where they've got the milkshake pebbles in the straw, so you don't even have to make the milkshake up. You just stick the straw in the milk and suck it through the... and it makes milkshake as you go up through the straw.
You suck it through the straw? Well, you used to get... we're doing a little bit of nostalgia, but I don't mind. When they called Humphreys, do you remember Humphreys? That was a straw that was full of, like, milkshake powder. And so you would get this straw and you'd open it and pour it. Look out, there's a Humphrey about. Wasn't that a Humphrey? And you would get the straw and it would pour, the powder would go in and you'd store it and you'd slurp it up. Look out, there's a Humphrey about.
Oh, you see, this doesn't fall out. These are little pellets that are just wedged into the straw. So as you drink the milk through,
wow,
it turns it. See, I did that with my Kit Kat Chunky. Nibble one end off a Kit Kat Chunky, both ends off, and drink this tea through your Kit Kat Chunky. Turns it to a chocolate straw.
I'm intrigued by. So it's like it's like a reverse water filter. You suck through a straw. You suck milk through a straw. In your mouth. It's a delicious milkshake. Imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, that's.
And if you wanted to go crazy, you could have the strawberry and a chocolate at the same time and have double hit.
Wow.
What? Put one straw on top of the other?
No, I have two straws.
Next to each other.
Oh, two straws. Yeah, no, that would work.
Yeah.
I get that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, John, you've opened up my eyes.
See, and I put myself on a self-imposed ban because you called me up from the rabbit hole a while ago and I muffed the call up. This is my first call back since then.
Oh, mate, you're a good sport. Well, I'm glad you called in, John. That was a good one. Thank you, mate.
Speak again.
Cheers. Ta-ta. What a nice guy. James and Ewan, stay there. We'll come to you in a bit. 0344 499 1000. Am I right? Was that Humphrey? Look out, there's a Humphrey about. And it was straw.
I've heard it, but I don't know what
I
the
might be
advert was.
mixing up two things. I remember having one in a field. Sorry, I just remember in a field on like a fete. There's like the Britwell Carnival or something. And anyway, it means nothing to you guys. Let's go to the break.
A star-crossed soapbox for sailor boys, stable girls,
I'm on the edge.
and stripper grands.
It depends who you're with and it depends on the situation.
Late night speech radio with a difference.
Thank you.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
So we're now looking at these milk straws, quick milk. I'm confused because I'm going to get... Kids will love that. It's strawberry, chocolate and a yellow one. I can only imagine what flavour that is. But then I'm looking at it on Amazon, which is the place we all go to, of course, when we want to buy stuff and we want to buy it quickly. So we go there. 40% of America, last year, 40% of online shopping done in America was done on Amazon.
I'm surprised it's not higher.
No, but if you include all retail, it's only like 2%. It's interesting, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Radio 4. But so I'm confused, right? Because there's a pack of 5 Quick Milk Magic Sipper chocolate, 60 pence, right? But that's part of the Amazon Fresh. I don't even know what that is.
Oh, is that grocery deliveries?
Right. And then you can get 30 straws for £9.
Yeah.
Well, that seems. So hang on, how much would 30 be if there was 60 pence for 5?
Oh God, don't look at me.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So 6 times 6.
It's 36.
£3.60. So that's like a markup of like 300%.
Yeah, but are they the same brand? Because they might be the nasty, like...
Yeah, they're the same brand, Dr. Milk. Well, I don't know. I'm so confused. But then you can get 50 straws, but they're the banana flavour, for £10. I don't want to get 50 banana ones. Why are we doing this on air?
I don't know. Why don't we get, like, one of the 3 flavours and split them and see if they like them first?
OK. Good evening, James.
Hello. I think it's to get kids into cocaine early. It's a gateway store.
It could be. It could be the gateway to. I don't think you. I've not read the instructions, but I'm sure our last caller said you sucked on the straw. You didn't snort the straw. I don't know. I don't know, and I don't want to give out inappropriate advice.
I wouldn't know anyway. Ian, do you think? Well, what ruined Bob Dylan for me was someone telling me that he sounds like Mr. Burns, and now I can't hear any of his stuff without thinking. Especially "I Want You."
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. That one does sound a lot like. Yeah, that one does sound like Mr. Burns. But I'm in now. I'm on the other side. I've closed the door. I've locked it. I've taken my shoes off, and I've sat down in the comfy chair of Bob Dylan's house.
You're in.
I'm totally in now, James. And there is nothing that is going to make me think otherwise. And I tell you what, I'm really excited about. I've just finished this 27-hour audio book about Bob Dylan. Oh, we'll play some of Art Garfunkel after midnight. Some of his book. His book is nuts.
Does he read it?
Yeah, he reads it, and it's nuts.
Dylan.
It's nuts. Dylan. No, Dylan doesn't, but the guy does a Dylan impression. And
all the way through it?
No, just his quotes. It's not by Bob Dylan. It's about him.
Is it the guy who plays Mr. Burns?
Yes, it is. And you know who played Mr. Burns, of course?
Dan Castaneda?
No, Harry Shearer.
Oh,
from Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
But what the perceived wisdom is that Dylan's last 4 or 5 albums are masterpieces, and I can't wait. They're masterpieces. How amazing!
Have you heard his Christmas album?
No, I haven't. But I've heard the hiccup must be Santa, which is great. To show that much sense of humour. He must have been about 70 when he recorded that. To show that much sense of humour and be prepared to burst the legend bubble. I think that's wonderful. Pissed off all the hardcore Dylan fans that he would do something so trivial. Here's the thing, proceeds from that go to, I think it's Shelter. They go to something forever. You don't make a penny from that album.
Have had tracheotomies.
Well, yeah, you could be. It could be. I think that I can't knock Dylan now. I can't knock him.
What I like about him is that he does things purposefully to piss people off who think they know what he's going to do next.
Yep.
Love that.
Yeah. Also, guys, check out Girl from the North Country. It's on the West End at the moment.
I think it's just finished. It was down the road from us at the Old Vic. Yeah, I think they may have come.
No. It's reopened at the West End. I can't remember which theatre, but it's gone proper mainstream now.
That's very, very kind of you to offer to buy us tickets. I appreciate that. Thank you very much indeed. Let's go to Dan. Good evening, Dan.
Good evening, Ian. Cool for Cats, Dancing Milk Bottles and Accrington Stanley.
Yes.
Why did Milk in the 80s and 90s have the best adverts on telly?
Yeah, they did. Well, there was the Milk Marketing Board. There was actually a department of the government that was created to spend money on adverts.
I made it at the British Onion Marketing Board. Oh. I put it on Rodney Bew's profile on Wikipedia about a decade ago.
Yes.
And I said in the 80s, he was the representative of the British Onion Marketing Board.
Yes.
When he died, It was in his obituary in the Times.
You're joking.
It was there. They removed it later.
Oh, mate, that is wonderful. Well played, sir.
Over a decade. It got removed a few times. People said it wasn't it was made up by Viz. So I just put it in the comments on Wikipedia. I assure you it was not made up by Viz.
That is wonderful.
That's what I call the long game.
Yeah, I had to replace it a few times because I thought, I'm sticking with this. It's believable.
Yeah.
It's not offensive. He was aware of it. He referenced it in an interview. And it stayed.
Well.
But I called up to talk about milk.
Oh, yeah, go on.
No, I've done it now.
Oh, well, in that case, we'll say good evening to you, sir. Thank you very much indeed. I'm trying to buy these bloody milk things. Yeah,
apparently you can get them in a supermarket. Let me have a look tomorrow.
Oh, in that case, guys, you can get knotted. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. We find ourselves with no calls, which is absolutely fine. So Milkmen are making a comeback. We'll play after midnight. We'll play some of the Art Garfunkel audiobook. It is the most insane rambling I've ever heard in my life. I'm 2 hours into it. I know 3 things about about Art Garfunkel. I know that he had a girlfriend that killed herself in 1981.
Oh.
1979, maybe. I know that he sang with Paul Simon. And I know that at the same time that Gracelands was being released, he was releasing an album called Animals Christmas Album that flopped. That's 2 hours of listening. It's insane. He implies that he invented Garfunkel's restaurant. And I was listening to this last night. I was so blown away by it. I had to pull over and Google it. And he was in Britain. He talked about being in Britain in 1979. And that's when Garfunkel's restaurant started. But I'm there for about 10 minutes Googling Garfunkel's and who started it. Hello, line 2.
Hello?
Okay, well, that was pointless.
Was that peak practice?
Pointless, wasn't it? So we'll have some, we will have some, but and he goes off on these wonderful poetic flights of fancy, and you find your mind just drifting away, and I have to keep bringing myself, it's like meditation, I have to keep bringing myself back to the meditation, keep bringing myself back to my mantra, to him. And 4 times he's gone, between January 1984 and December 1989, I read 259 books. These 26 stood out. And then he lists them. And he talks as well about being a kid and about how he would write down the charts and log, before he was a singer, log the music charts. And so he's obviously got something about him where he has to keep logs of data. Because 3 or 4 times he references specific years and the exact number of books. And it's always 26 that stood out to me. And it is... honestly, I think he should be locked up.
Do you think he's making it up? Do you think he got to the end of his chapter and went, oh, I've got to do another half a page? I know, I'll just... I'll Google some books.
Could be. Could be. I don't think he is making it up. I think he's... no, I think he... And they're all quite heavy books.
Of course they are, because he's showing off. Why would he list them otherwise?
He talks as well. He was a randy devil. He's a horn dog. We'll just dip in at random and listen to some bits. And we won't have a clue what he's talking... We can go anywhere with this. We won't have a clue what he's talking about, and it might be entertaining. I don't know. Grant and Ewan, stay there. We'll come to you after the news. You can give us a call. Another hour of this. Don't forget you can listen to Talk Radio on DAB by downloading the Talk Radio app for iPhone and Android. And also, of course, you can go to talkradio.co.uk. Talkradio.co.uk. My name is Iain Lee. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
on water. Ain't it like her? She leads the children. Ain't it right? Ain't it right? Ain't it right? And ain't it wondrous? Ah, the way she does it. Gives love and loves it. Ain't it right? Ain't it right? Ain't it right?
I mean, I love Neil Diamond. That's some song, huh? That's some song, isn't it? That's some song. I love Neil Diamond. I love the pomp. I love the ridiculousness. I love the pop. I love the pretension. I love all of it. He's so good. He's so good. And it's such sad news. The Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio, Monday to Friday, 10 o'clock at night. Until 1 o'clock in the morning when Paul Ross comes in and takes over and does his thing. And he goes on between 1 right through to 5 o'clock. So that's always good. My name is Iain Lee. Catherine Boyle is here. Co-presenter, co-host, actual producer, friend, woman, person.
Genius.
Well, let's not be carried away.
Pop star.
Let's do some of these calls. Let's go to Grant. Good evening, Grant.
Hello.
Hello, Grant.
Congratulations for the NFAs, and hello, Ian and Kath. I just wanted to ring. You spoke about Humphreys.
Yes.
Not many people speak about Humphreys.
No one speaks. Watch out, there's a Humphrey about. Am I right? Were they the straws that had like milkshake in?
Yeah, I live in Southend, and they used to have a dairy in South Church, which has been knocked down and turned to flats, but they used to have a massive straw that went all the way along, great big cardboard thing.
Yeah.
And it dilapidated over several years. I think the campaign lasted into the early 80s.
Yes.
And it was there until it was sort of like a remnant.
Oh,
It didn't. At least it sort of started to, decay, unlike the plastic straws, eh?
Well, hang on. So what decayed? The giant straw decayed?
Yeah, I think it was made out of papier-mâché or cardboard.
Well done for saying
like that,
papier-mâché, not paper-mâché. Although paper-mâché is fine. But it's weird that we anglicise...
Well, then you say mashed paper.
Well, we anglicise the papier, but not the mâché.
No.
You pudding. So what? The straw was there long after Humphreys had abandoned it.
I think there's the Humphrey. I think I looked it up years ago because I'm obsessed. Went into the 81 or 2 or something like that. That campaign.
Yeah. Well.
So the straw was there on the wall.
I would kill someone for a Humphreys roundabout now. I'd love a Humphreys now.
Oh. Well, I wasn't ringing about that. I was ringing about the Neil Diamond, actually.
Yeah. Go on, Grant.
I went to the Neil Diamond audience with, and the lighting rig failed, and Paul Ross mentioned this on Twitter today, and I was there. And
do you know what? Can I stop you for a second, Grant? I was there as well, buddy.
Oh my God! Yeah. It was amazing.
Yeah, I was there. It was incredible, wasn't it? I was sat. Get this, I was sat in the third row, right in the middle.
You were behind four puffs and a piano.
Yeah, I was behind four, but I was sat next to. My fiancée at the time, and I think there was Theakston on one side, and the arrogant dancer Brendan
Cole.
Brendan Cole on. It wasn't Theakston. It was it was Ursat's Theakston. Not Anstis.
Toby, no,
not Anstis.
Oh,
the other
Bacon?
one. No, not Bacon. Looks more like Bacon. Don't think it was. It might have been Anstis, or it might have been.
Oh, the one from Blue Peter.
Yeah. That dude.
Oh,
anyway, he was there.
The marathon guy.
And we were sat in the third row. And please, I'm not going to interrupt. You tell your story about the lighting rig.
Well,
Go on.
It was just that the lighting rig failed, and it was sort of a weird modern LED panel. So they had to go and ring the factory, and it must have been somewhere else.
Kath,
so,
go on, say it.
Tim Vincent.
Tim Vincent, that was it. I think it was Tim Vincent.
That's the one, marathon guy. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Neil Diamond had to fill for over an hour. And
he said
this band were incredible.
Here's the thing, right?
Guys.
He kept playing a song called Cherry Cherry, right? He kept playing it because I think they had to do a couple of takes, and then he just kept playing it in between takes, right? And everyone was sick to death of it. And there was a bit where he had to fill, and he was sat there, and he said, "Any requests?" And so I shouted out, quick as a flash, "Cherry Cherry." And he did it again, and he'd annoyed everybody by doing it, and then he did it again. But then there was another bit.
Not telly anymore.
Exactly. But then there was another bit, right? The floor manager is sort of a friend of mine, a bloke called Sticky, right? And he was trying. And Neil Diamond was pissed off by this point, and they were about to start a song. And Sticky said, "I'm really sorry, Mr. Diamond. Mr. Diamond, we've got to hold it. The cameras are in the wrong place, and one of the lights isn't working." Blah, blah, blah. And Neil Diamond said, "No one tells me to hold it." He says, "I'm really sorry, Mr. Diamond. He said, "I'm going to start this song."
He said,
10 seconds.
He said, "Get off my stage. Don't get on my stage."
He might have said that. And then he said, "I'm going to start this song in 10 seconds. Remember that bit? And he did the countdown.
Yeah.
And Sticky, the floor manager's going, "Mr. Diamond," he's going 10.
Well, that was
9,
the producers had that too,
8,
yeah.
And he was going, and he got 3, 2, 1, and the band went, dun, 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 and he was off. He was doing Crackling Rosie.
Pros.
And here's another thing. When he was doing Crackling Rose. This is how close I was to the front, Grant. Right? I love Neil Diamond. I was giving it everything. I was singing it, right? And I was singing it so loud that I put him off. And this is no word of a lie. He stared at me and gave me absolute skunk eye to the point where my wife said, "I think you should sing a little bit quieter," because that was really uncomfortable. And he stared at me and he gave me the look of death. It was unbelievable. I was over the moon.
Hard as diamonds.
It was a good... And do you know what? I'm so glad I went to... Because I used to get invited to loads of those things, and I've always said no. And I'm glad I went, because A, it was brilliant, and B, it's the first time I ever met Tony Blackburn there, and we had a lovely chat with Tony Blackburn and his missus.
Yeah, nice bloke, yeah.
He's a lovely bloke, Tony. He's a good bloke, Tony.
Well, he was my dad's sort of hero, and I always remember when I was a kid saying, "All right, I'll take you to Neil Diamond." I didn't quite take him, but I got to go and see Neil Diamond.
Good for you.
And bloody hell, it was amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm very lucky there.
Yeah, no, it was...
Weren't we?
Yeah, well, we were. So, you know, I mean, there would have been no more than 500 people in that room. You know, 500 people sat there getting a private concert. That'll do me.
Yeah, 4 hours long. Anyway, there you go.
Nice one, Grant. Thank you, mate. Cheers. Take care.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks,
Bye.
fella. Ta-ta. Yeah, it was a good night, that. That was a good old night, that. Let's go. We've got 2 Ewan, so I'm going to go to Ewan in London first. Hello, Ewan.
Hello there, Ian.
What you got for us, fella?
Oh, I thought I'd just give you a call about Neil Diamond as well, because it was a bit of a shock today.
Yeah, it's sad news, isn't it?
It is sad news. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad he's still saying he's going to keep writing and recording and stuff like that, but, you know, the old touring is the thing that seems to have kept him going for a hell of a long time.
Well, this is what I think about a lot of these performers, and I'm talking about Neil Diamond, Bob Dylan, Mike Love of the Beach Boys, a lot of these older artists. I mean, Diamond's, Google it, I'm going to say Diamond's 76. He's old.
Yeah, he is.
Right. And you do think, and McCartney as well, to a certain, you do think it is the thing that touring, because they're always touring, constantly going around the globe. All of those people never stop. And you do think, are they a bit like sharks? Once they stop moving, then that's it, they're going to die. And I do think, I think, I'll give Diamond 2 years, unfortunately. Go on, how old is he?
76.
76, yeah, spot on, you see.
Yeah.
I do worry that's going to be it.
Well, the thing is, he always wanted to take his new stuff out on the road. Yep. So if that part of the equation is missing, if you're just doing the stuff where you're working on your own in a room, strumming a guitar and a few musicians and putting it down, well, if you're not actually putting it in front of people, if it just goes out into the world and they listen to it without you being there, then you've kind of lost the thing that makes you do it.
Yeah.
And that's sad.
It is sad. It is sad. I've got, when my sister retweeted the story in The Guardian today that had it, and I just sort of glimpsed it and I thought, oh, bloody hell. I didn't want to read it, really. I don't want to read that. Did you go and see him live?
I've seen him, about 6 times, and I did see him this autumn just gone, and I thought, I bet this is the last time.
Really?
His movements were just... It's odd, because a lot of them are young man songs, and he still plays all the stuff from the 60s and the early 70s, and, hearing it, he's in such good voice, but his movement, it's like watching an old man singing, Cherry Cherry, I'm a Believer. It's kind of slightly weird.
Well, him singing "Girl, You'll Be a Woman Soon. Soon You'll Need a Man." I mean, when you're 76, it's not quite the same as when you're 26. Even then, it's still a little bit fruity. But there you go. Well, it's sad, Ewan, but I'm gonna dig out my Neil Diamond records this weekend.
I love hearing "Walk on Water." That's that you never hear that one, and that's one. I think that was even a hit single, but it's one of those ones that has got swallowed up, as there's always the few that get remembered and the many of any artist who...
People remember songs like Song Sun Blue, which I think is it's a nursery rhyme, terrible record, Song Sun Blue. And you go back to some of his earlier stuff in the late 60s, early 70s, when he didn't quite know what he was. And some people were trying to market him as a Bob Dylan, some people were trying to market him as the hit writer behind the Monkees, and he didn't know what he was, and he was doing this weird stuff. And he was doing a lot of African stuff as well.
The African Trilogy.
Oh, the African Trilogy is nuts! I don't know if it's any good, but it's nuts.
I Am the Lion and all of that.
I Am the Lion. And those kids singing. It's a weird thing. But he did it, and it was weird. And is it any good? I don't know, but
it's that meeting point of those two disparate things that make him uncategorisable that actually makes it great and better than all the people who are one thing or the other.
There you go.
And it's that thing that people don't quite know.
Yeah. I think what we need to do, guys, is we need to send Neil Diamond our love, whether that's via Twitter, whether that's via a letter, whether that's buying all his records and send him up the charts. Let's tell him we love him now instead of waiting until he dies.
Definitely.
Because what's the point of that, So let's do it now. Ewan, thank you very much for that.
Have a good evening.
Yeah, thank you, mate. 0344 499 1000. Dave and other Ewan will come to you after this.
The late-night lip service for lovers, loners and lounge lizards.
Where exactly is your accent from?
The late-night alternative with Iain Lee.
I've forgotten your name already, excuse me.
On Talk Radio.
Okie dokie, let's go to Ewan in Wales. Evening, Ewan.
Good evening.
Good evening, Ewan. What have you got for us tonight?
Well, I got 3 things I want to tell you. One, first of all, you just missed me singing when you went to a little advert. I was singing, so the music I'm going in the background in my bedroom.
Well, that's I don't know if that's necessarily that's a private moment, and you should keep that private, I think.
Yeah. Well, at first, and the first point I would like to get to.
Well, hang on a minute. Whoa, hang on a minute. You've just made a point.
About my singing.
Well, that was a point, though. But that was a conversation.
Yes, I could tell our listeners that I do tend to go Facebook Live a lot for singing.
Okay, so that's 2 points you've made. It means you've only got 1 point left.
Well, no, I was just.
So you had 5 points. You had 5 points to make.
No, about me going Facebook Live singing, that was to do with me just singing.
Okay, so that's the same point. So have
that's
you got
point 1A.
So have you got 4 points to make then?
I don't know. I'll tell her. It's going to be that many. Okay. I just thought I would. But the main reason why I want some advice off you and Rachel, and maybe the listeners.
Who's Rachel?
I thought your producer.
Sorry?
Oh, me, Rachel.
Yeah.
What? Where have you got that name from?
I don't know. I thought that was her name, Rachel.
What is your name? Remind me.
Rachel.
It's Rachel. You're absolutely right. It's Rachel. Yes.
Oh, I thought you was right.
No, her name's Catherine.
Catherine. Oh.
You follow me on Twitter.
Hashtag fail.
I've got too many. I've got loads of different radio stations I follow, different people.
Oh, well, here's a tip for you, and try and remember which radio station you're calling. Let's go to Dave. Good evening, Dave.
Hi, guys. I was just reminded, the guy who was talking about the Onion Marketing Board.
Yes.
And a few years ago, me and a mate did something similar. We were messing about on Wikipedia, and then Manchester City drew a Cypriot side that no one had ever heard of. So we edited some of them, put some right rubbish on their Wikipedia page, including in the fans section, they've got a small but loyal group of fans called the Zany Ones. Like to wear hats made from discarded shoes and have a song about a little potato. And 3 weeks later, the tie comes along, and in the pre-match build-up in the Daily Mirror, the journalist had listed that from Wikipedia.
That is wonderful. This is great. Any sabotage that's made... Because, sabotaging Wikipedia is fun, and, it's a great thing to do. But if that has then got into the mainstream and has become printed either on a newspaper's website or in a newspaper, 03444991000, you must have been high-fiving each other all afternoon.
Oh, God, we couldn't believe it, especially because we'd sort of half forgotten about it because it was a few weeks earlier that we'd changed it. Yeah. But then it got reported all over the web. It was actually reported in Private Eye, which was my biggest claim to fame ever, I think.
You're the grandfather of fake news. Started with you.
It was a bit of harmless fun.
Well, it's a little bit of cheeky fun. Dave, thank you. I'm reminded, did you order that Trump book?
Yeah, got it.
Oh, you didn't tell me?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to read it.
All right, I'll let you read it.
Thanks, man. Art Garfunkel, Arthur Garfunkel, his autobiography is nuts, right? And the audiobook is just a joy. I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to pick a... hang on, let's just play. I'm just going to jump in at random. 2 hours, 45 minutes and 30 seconds, right? It will be absolute wibble nonsense, okay? I guarantee it. So let's see what's going on in Arthur Garfunkel's life. 2 hours, 45 minutes and 30 seconds, about halfway through the book.
Thoughts of me, I do receive your prayers through the air. This love of ours is very beautiful to me. Time polishes it beautifuler in spite of the admixture of my...
Did he say beautifuler?
Yeah.
He did say beautifuler, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
My aging crust.
What?
Thickening bark of the trunk of a tree maturing and spreading itself with air and forgiveness so beautifully. The tree of us is getting a little big now, darling. Dancing in the wind, it says, I embrace. Paul's mother, Belle, dies June 15th, 2007. This is the age of dying, the end of June, abundant fecundity. Laurie Bird, Rose Garfunkel, Belle Simon. Why did they leave just then? Is it a showdown for them, a fork in a larger road? Keenly, with alienation, do they say to the ripest earth, today you go your way. To Paul, from Art. We're out under the stars now. The harbor we came from is gone from view.
Nurse?
When the biological imperative to continue the race is achieved and the need to create is...
This is carried on. I've not skipped. This is the same stream of consciousness.
God.
This guy should do a radio show. Seriously, I would listen to 3 hours of this every week.
It's like an oral screensaver.
Isn't it?
Done. Birds can lose their song. Color is extraneous. And briefs become boxers.
What?
Why stick around? Because the world needs delight to care to grow. To chase cachet is to unleash the cliché and turn kitsch into so much quiche as when Kay casually mentioned her friend Rajneesh. Though the name drop was blatant,
Seriously, has someone checked his meds? Because I think they're either kicking in or wearing off.
It's incredible.
I teased out her pretension instead until the Bhagwan was said.
Now, okay. Let's skip forward an hour. Okay. See where we are now. Isn't it wonderful? It's all like that.
How do you not fall asleep at the wheel?
Well, my head just goes off. Here we go. Here we go.
Foolish object of him whose magic turns tragically, gradually grim. Gnarly tree surrounding me.
Trees again.
Twisted limbs are gnashed and bent above, offshoots from the trunk of many years. The hidden G in what appears to be my funk and fears dancing in the branches.
This is autobiography.
Attorney's notes.
Stop. G funk. So he's talking about Garfunkel.
Okay, yeah. Well,
G-Funk.
You're deciphering him better than I think he is.
I'm trying to, but it's like a magic eye picture. You can only listen to every third word.
There we go.
The need to sing, gone is everything that palliates. Rip-off rates, my soul invested, and everywhere I turn, domestic concern nested in a treehouse. Under a bower, beneath all this, and in the shade of it, my love holds me in her kiss. Hyacinth exhalations from her baby's breath and bare neck and shoulders wrap around me in comfort, soothing, steady honeysuckle comfort.
Right. Imagine having to edit this. Just go, oh, yeah, do you know, it's fine. It's fine.
Let's go to 4 hours. I've not got this far in the book. 4 hours, 17 minutes.
I don't think you're going to spoil it.
Pan to the east, Europe in the rear. The afternoon opens on here, a day of dappled seaborne clouds. Floating fleece, fringed with grey. Spring in Greece, what a dream to be in. Adriatic to Aegean. This is that other air.
It's a poem,
here,
isn't it?
green fields of flax, down to the Dardanelles. Oh, earth, you are too beautiful to tell. 13 years of heart swells. Who am I if I'm not a singer?
There we go.
Finally, I come to the boiling point. 211 degrees. The heat of frustration has brought me here to the crucible, to the eye of the beast that speaks. You'll never sing again. Eat the anguish, get down on the mat, be a reading chair in your mother's womb, throw it around the hotel room 11 times against the walls, scream for equilibrium. 30 years of rulership have brought the Egyptians to just below steam. When the ruler announces he won't quite quit, they chew on disbelief. That night an Arab soldier wrestles with a dream of the man he longs to be.
It's just insane.
I think he's locked in a cellar.
Isn't it incredible? I mean, just incredible. Speaking of incredible, just had what I think is going to be the final email from Wasim. Just emailed me now. Ian, I've blocked you from my email address because he likes to give it, doesn't like to receive
Tag
it.
and no returns.
So didn't get your last message. While I could ask you to stop playing God...
Wow.
I mean, the arrogance, the entitlement. None of this bothers me. I'm amused by it. That's why I replied to it. Get off your high horse. And how you are suffering from selective amnesia from the mean things you have said to me and accused me of, I won't. I won't ring into your show because you told me to never ring in on the email earlier on. So I'm respecting that. I know it's your way or the highway. It's my show, guys. But, dude, I will still pray for you and wish... Oh, God, the arrogance of people who pray for you. Sweet Lord. And wish you the best. No one has a monopoly on mental health. A lot of us suffer from it and deal with it in our own ways. Take care and God bless you. Yeah, you deal with it, Wasimi, by being with arrogance and with... you don't... Go and read about passive aggression, mate, because that's what you've got. You absolute. I've never, ever had communication from anyone as entitled as that nut job. I mean, you know, a lousy caller, and we got some stinking callers, right? But a lousy caller, and the arrogance. Here's the thing. He'll email again. Maybe not tonight. Maybe not even this week. He'll email again. He'll call in again. And he'll call in because, Wasim, you withhold your number, so I know you're going to call in on a withheld number. I know you're going to do it. And also, you'll call in as... You'll call in, buddy. You'll call in. Anyway, peace and love, buddy. You don't have to pray for me. And here's the thing as well. Here's the thing. When people say they'll pray for you, I think it's quite a nice thing. But I also think that they should then respect it when you ask them not to pray for you. And if they don't respect that, then that is an arrogance. And that is an arrogance that I've only had a few times in my life. Once was Ken, a couple of other people in my life, and now Wasim. So Wasim, I'm asking you very politely, please don't pray for me. Please don't email me. Please don't phone my show. Please don't listen to my show. Please don't think of me, because you are nuts. Absolutely nuts. Last 30 minutes of the show, 0344 499 1000. This is the late night alternative with Art Garfunkel.
After hours amusement for anarchists, air hostesses, and jet-lagged Antipodeans.
G'day, coppers. Can I crash on your floor? The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Oh, there's a brilliant story in the papers today. Just see if this rings any bells, Catherine. Just chime in.
Okay.
If you recognise anything I'm about to say. 3 steaks and a plate of fish, that'll be £970. Tourists' anger at rip-off in Venice.
Oh, boom. That was the gentleman who suggested we serve the fish up at Jaxie's.
Oh, can I just... Oh.
No.
What?
Is he... Not again.
Yeah, he's emailed again.
Well, he's obviously listening, so let's...
I gave you the benefit of the doubt, Ian, and was willing to be the bigger person.
Well,
but clearly you still want to carry on attacking me. I am not passive-aggressive. You are.
No, you are. Stop it, or I'll knock your heads together.
I will stop listening to your show from now on, and clearly you are the real nut job and need to grow up and act your age. Thank you, Wasim. Now, bugger off, you fruitcake. A steak supper near St Mark's Square in Venice was never going to be a cheap night out. But 4 students claimed their meal at a restaurant in the tourist hotspot. Remember, we phoned this place up?
Yeah, and they were rude.
They were rude. Set them back an astonishing £970, and it didn't even include alcohol. They were so dismayed by the €1,100 bill for 3 steaks, a plate of fried fish and some mineral water that they contacted police. The tourists say they were presented with the bill at the Osteria da Luca in the Merceria district close to St Mark's Square on Friday. 3 women with them chose another restaurant, but even they ended up paying £307 for 3 plates of seafood pasta. Wow. Follows a string of similar cases of tourists. Did they tell us to F off?
They told us to stick the fish up our arses.
Should we phone them up again? What would they... Because they did, didn't they? They were really rude. What is it? It's... What's the rest of it? The mayor of Venice has voiced his outrage at the bill. He was on the side of it the other day. The 4 Japanese men complained to the police where there are students. Their case has been taken up by Marco Gasparinetti, spokesman for a Venice residents forum called Gruppo 25.
Oh, they've had it.
He described it as the latest of many of this kind. Questioned about the bill, the restaurant owner apparently said, "I don't remember having any problems with Japanese customers." In November last year, it emerged that Luke Tang, a university lecturer from Birmingham, wrote a letter of complaint to the mayor after he was charged €536 for lunch. He dined at Trattoria Casanova in the central San Marco district with his parents and was... So is this a different restaurant?
No, it's the same. Casanova.
Well, no, that was the Casanova, but was this first one, they presented the bill, this is, the Osteria da Luca. So this is
a different one.
Let's give these guys a call. Osteria da Luca.
Ah, because Casanova had the mayor's full backing, didn't it?
Yes, he did, didn't it? Yes, they did. Osteria da Luca. Oh, it's closed. It's closed. It was closed last time. Let's see if we can Seven four. Let's see. Italy.
Buonasera.
That's Mexican, mate.
No, good evening.
That's Mexican. Buenos Aires.
Buonasera.
Buenos Aires.
No, not Buenos Aires.
I'm not saying Buenos Aires. I'm saying Buenos Aires.
No.
Vodafone, servizio di segreteria telefonica.
Okay, there's not too much to do for that. But it seems that Venice is the place to go if you want to spend shed loads of money on not much food. That seems to be...
Have you been to Venice?
No.
I've been to Venice. It's quite expensive. I mean, around San Marco is quite... It's
£970 for a meal.
That's not normal.
For 4 people, not even including alcohol. 3 steaks, a plate of fried fish and some mineral water. £1,000. I mean, that's taking
outrageous.
the old...
Yeah, it is.
That's taking it, the mickey a little bit, isn't it? Well, you know... let's see who this person is. Hello, line 1.
Yeah, mate, you need to have a few words, you do, with goalies answering your calls. She said normally, I would prefer Sam. Bring back Sam, that's what I say.
What's it got to do with you?
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's definitely her.
What's it got to do with you? It's got to do with you, answers Alf. Unless that was Sam phoning up. There's some dispute going on over pay or something, and maybe that's why. What's it got to do with you, buddy? Joel, go on. Yeah, well, okay. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You're more than welcome to. Sheet hits the fan.
Oh.
Plush loo roll brand Velvet. Plush? Is Velvet considered like a top of the range? When you go for loo roll, Tesco own brand, the big multi-bag.
Puppy's on a roll, isn't
Really?
it? Really?
They're so much more expensive.
Well, I've got a delicate bot.
Oh, for crying out loud.
I mean, I don't use toilet paper, obviously, because it's just...
What, you just let it hang?
I don't go to the toilet because it's all like rainbows and sparkles, isn't it? But
Still got to wipe that multicoloured shit off your ass.
But for other people who do such things, yeah, puppies.
Plush loo roll brand Velvet has found a cunning way to boost its bottom line, ha-ha.
Oh.
By sneakily cutting its 3 layers of paper to 2. Makers have quietly dropped their boast of the past 7 years that the luxury paper offers 3 layers of comfort. Instead, packaging now just says, comfort.
All right.
On your bot.
Unless you're the Princess and the Pea, you're not going to be going, oh, hang on a minute, that feels a bit like a layer less.
Yeah, no, but if a finger goes through...
Flipping it. But you roll it, though, don't you?
Sometimes you've got to do that.
No, not unless you're a squaddy. That's true, isn't it, that they get, like, 1 sheet of paper, because that's just for wiping their finger after.
But the price charged for the thinner 2-ply is still £1.85 for 4 rolls, the same as before. These scumbags. The ruse, it's a ruse, the Sun have decided. The ruse, by German firm Essity.
Ah, Germans.
Is the latest example of shrinkflation.
Brexit.
Where consumers get less product but no price cut. Sun reader Steve Smith, 69, realised when he got his usual 16-pack. Steve, who's a big lad...
It doesn't say that.
No, but there's a picture of him. He needs 3 plies. His fingers will be going through all the time. Steve...
69.
Said there's 33% less paper. They've gone a very sly way about it. 3 layers was brilliant. It was luxury, like it says. 2 layers? 2 layers is ridiculous.
Just checking. Do we live in Cuba where there's only one kind of toilet paper?
No, well...
You do have a choice, right?
2 layers is ridiculous. This is great. 3 layers was brilliant. It was luxury, like it says. 2 layers is ridiculous. I have to double up. And I'm going through the lot much quicker.
Wow.
The Office of National Statistics says 2,500 grocery products have shrunk in the past 5 years. Which editor, Richard Headland, I don't know, which you tell me which, called it a sneaky way of increasing prices. He said, we want manufacturers and supermarkets to be up front so consumers aren't misled. The brand, originally called Triple Velvet, accounts for £1 in every £10 spent on loo paper. They've got 10% of the bog roll market.
Gosh.
Essity insisted the 2-ply paper is still the same strength and softness. It said, the manufacturing costs are soaring. We don't want to pass this on to the consumer. So they can bug off.
This paper is effective. I'm old enough to remember Eisel, so I consider myself lucky as long as it's not grease-proof.
Oh, God, that tracing paper.
Mm-hmm. They had it at school, didn't they?
Why would you have kids wipe their bums with something that was slippery? And you could use it for tracing paper. We used to use it for tracing paper.
It was not absorbent at all, was it?
I never... Well, very early on, I learnt never to do a number 2 in school.
No.
Just never did it, because I couldn't bear wiping it with that. They don't have that anymore, do they?
No, I think they have proper paper.
I hope they've banned... Well, once we come out of Europe, I bet we get that rubbish back. I bet we get that back. It's for kids. It's tough. 0344 499 1000. I'm Iain Lee. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
Late night conversation worth losing sleep over. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Thank you to Hannah for just tweeting a picture of me and Shappy on the red carpet. Both looking totally out of our depth. Fish out of water.
While Martine McCutcheon looks on from the crowd. She can't
the
get...
picture I've just retweeted on the left-hand side is Martine McCutcheon trying to get in. Just fish out of water. It's such an alien world. I'm so glad I did it. It will probably never... Talking about going to the National Television Awards. Never done it before. I've spent my whole career, the last 20 years, guys. This September will be the 20th anniversary of me being on telly, right? The 11 o'clock show. I've spent the whole... I don't think I've been to any red carpet events or any premieres. I went to one red carpet event, which was Cirque du Soleil, but I didn't know it was a red carpet event. I just thought it was free tickets, and then we turned up. It's like, oh, right. But that's it, and I've avoided it totally out of my depth. Never done it before. Probably won't get to do it again. You know, it was a once in a lifetime offer, and pretty much a dead cert that we were going to win. You know, because I'm a Celebrity's won, I think, the last 17 years.
Also, they didn't put you next to the bogs. You were quite near the front.
Yeah, second, and it was just wonderfully weird and surreal and lovely to see all those people again and be reminded that. A few weeks ago, I did something really stupid. You know, I did something really stupid in the jungle, and it's great. So, but thank you for tweeting that picture, and I'm sure there'll be more of them floating around. Although they were much more famous, but you know, Barbara Knox was there, Rita Fairclough, for crying out loud. The bad guy from Emmerdale was there, whose name escapes me. I can't think of his name.
Which bad guy?
The old bad guy. He's been like a bad. I don't know if he's the bad guy anymore. He might have settled down.
Zach.
No, the old guy, the white-haired guy.
Oh, Turner.
Yeah.
No,
not Turner.
Turner's been dead for ages.
Turner died.
Pollard.
Pollard was there.
Eric Pollard.
I saw Eric Pollard. I thought, oh. Eric Pollard said hello to me as he walked past.
I bet he did.
And then I tell you what was nice was one of the stars of Emmerdale, whose name is Charlotte. Something. She's one of the main characters. And I used to go to the same college as her, the same university. She was a few years above me, maybe 2 or 3 years above me, and her husband was 1 or 2 years above me. And I sort of used to know him a little bit. I never really had anything to do with her. I remember seeing her around, and her husband, Mungo, I sort of knew him a little bit, and we did some bits and pieces together during college and after college.
Bellamy.
Charlotte Bellamy, of course, Charlotte Bellamy. And she came over, and one of the stars of Emmerdale came over and said hello to me and said, we loved watching you because Mungo was, told us we should watch and we enjoyed it. So one of the stars of Emmerdale, I don't know who, and then Charlotte came over and said, it's so nice to see you again, and Mungo sends his best, and all this. It was wonderful.
That nuts.
Absolutely wonderful. Strange old night, really strange. Strange old night. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. We'll look through. There's not really a lot in the papers, but it's one of those kind of rules on radio when you've got nothing else to say. You go through the papers. Here we go. Here we go. This is a story by my second favourite science correspondent.
Not Fernandez.
It's not Fernandez, it's Victoria Allen, who is my second favourite science correspondent from the Daily Mail. This is a great story.
Is it Dr. Victoria Allen?
Well, I don't know, but this one could easily have been a Fernandez, but she bagged it first. Is your cat left-pawed or right-pawed?
Flipping heck.
No, it's a good question. It is actually a good question. Velvet is yes, caller?
India.
Sorry? Do it again.
India.
Thank you very much indeed. Velvet is right-pawed.
Mm.
But it does actually raise a really interesting question. Can cats be left or right-pawed? And if so, then what does that tell us about our brains? I find that interesting. Would you not be interested to know that cats could be left or right-pawed?
Well, I think it's obvious. If you've got more than one hand, you'll favour one.
Yeah, but that you might favour the other? OK, is it the same percentage of cats that are left-pawed as humans? What is it that makes people sinister like this? Using the correct word there, guys.
Don't need to tell me.
Well, I know, but I'm telling these idiots that are listening because they'll think I've just said something weird when actually I've said the right thing.
Sinister.
Is your cat easily spooked or skittish around strangers? Then there's every chance that its left paw is to blame.
Or that it's a cat.
Animal experts found cats can be left or right-handed and that it affects their response to stressful situations. Suddenly we're into an interesting story. Whether playing with their food or slinking down the stairs, most prefer to use the same paw each time. Here we go. So it is split up into gender.
Mm.
Male moggies are most likely to be southpaw, a term used for left-handed humans. Female cats are more likely to be right-handed, like girls and women.
Except cats don't have hands.
Dr. Deborah Wells, co-author of the study by a team at Queen's University Belfast, said right-handed animals are more governed by the left hemisphere of their brain, which is more responsible for processing positive emotions. But left-handed animals are more likely to use the right hemisphere, which processes more negative emotions. It may therefore be the case that a left-limbed cat reacts more strongly to stressful situations, gets frightened by loud noises, or lashes out at the vet. Hang on. It may therefore be the case. So you don't know.
Yeah.
So you've just made me read this and you haven't got a bloody clue. The study looked at 24 male and 20 female cats.
Why not 24?
And recorded their behaviour at home over 3 months. The result in the journal, let's see if you can spot the error here, Human Behaviour, shows 60% of female cats use their right paw to go down the stairs and more than 45% of males use their left when fishing out hidden food. Blah, 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 blah.
You know, my sister's cat is my nemesis.
Yeah.
He hates me.
Yeah.
He's lost his mojo.
Well, really?
Mm-hmm.
He's dying.
I don't think he's been very well.
He's
you know,
dying.
That time when Velvet lost loads of weight for no apparent reason.
Yep.
He had the same symptoms.
Well, she lost it for good reason. She wouldn't eat. Wasn't eating.
Well, he went around the same time. I don't know whether...
Yeah.
Memo or
He's dying.
Well, I mean, they're all dying.
Velvet's just showing no signs of giving up. Going to be 19 in March. 19 years old, for crying out loud, girl.
What's she like attitude-wise?
She don't give a shit.
No.
She really doesn't. She don't care about anything anymore.
Does she... Because he's gone very... Because he used to be evil, like a Disney cat.
Yeah.
Wait on the stairs and like, wait for me. And no one believed me, especially my sister, who thought the sun shone out of his jacksie.
Yeah.
Which she used to wipe, by the way. That's not...
Wipe the cat's up bum? Why would she do that? That is messed up.
Like Tricky Woo.
Yeah, people... No, that is messed up, man. I wouldn't have any of
he
that.
is now become really loving and comes up for sort of cuddles and things.
Yeah.
To everyone.
He's dying.
Well...
I would suggest getting him checked out for cancer.
Well, she's had to take him to the vets. They can't find anything.
No, trust me. I'm a cat whisperer. I know these things. I know how cats work. I know what goes on in cats' minds.
Right.
I know these things.
I'll break it to her tomorrow.
Yeah, the cat's dying. Let's just see what Art Garfunkel's up to, shall we? At this stage. Oh,
I struggle to bring a lost voice back. My audience has grown from 70 people in Yonkers in 2013 to 1,000 today. I no longer supplement my show with Q&A. The singing doesn't falter quite as much. Hitting the high notes.
He's actually telling us something.
Like diving off a high board, hoping there'll be water in the pool. Now there's only an occasional death swoon. I have learned to trust in the audience's love. Displaying authentic bravery speaks for itself. Perfectionism is over. I work with smiling self-acceptance and read my poetic bits. The new show is Less is More.
Hey, when's he doing the show over here? Let's take the night off work and go and see that. So can we not get free tickets? Can we not do what that blogger did but be successful with it? You know, the blogger who wrote to the hotel saying, "Can I come to your hotel for free?" And he went, "No. You got to pay and stuff." Can we not get some free tickets for Art Garfunkel?
This is May again. Oh, hang on. Yeah, May.
Let's go and see Art Garfunkel, because this could be the last time. This could be the last time. I've never seen Simon and Garfunkel, so let's go and see Art Garfunkel. That'll be a show, wouldn't it?
Right. Royal Albert Hall.
Yeah.
31st of May.
Right. What day of the week is that?
A Thursday.
Okay, fine. We'll take Thursday off. Who cares? It's Thursday shows are rubbish anyway. Sort out some tickets, can you? Should we get him on the show? I was
going to say, let's interview him.
Didn't we try and get him on before?
Yes.
What happened? Didn't they say get back in touch nearer the date or something?
Yeah, and then they evaded us.
Well, let's get right. Okay, here we go. We're going to get Art Garfunkel on this show. That's actually happening. Trust me. We're going to get Art Garfunkel on this show. Make that. Now listen.
We'll get him to talk about his excellent autobiography.
Yeah, the fruitcase. I want to just. I want to try. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to end on a Neil Diamond song. I think it would be appropriate. We're going to end on this one. I'm just going to get this set up. I've got to do some wicked mathematics. I think I've got the maths there. The maths are close enough. It's near enough for jazz. 54, 55, 56, 57. Yeah, it's close enough for jazz. I think I can make this work. So, dear listener, that is it from us this evening. Don't forget you can download the podcasts, which you can get from all your usual podcast providers. I'm finding myself talking like Art Garfunkel now. Do stay tuned. We're going to end with the Neil Diamond song, because it's really sad. Genuinely, I love Neil Diamond, and it was really, really sad news that he ain't going to tour no more because he's got Parkinson's. But do stay, and this is a classic 70s Neil Diamond song. You'll like this one. But stay tuned, guys, because coming up after 1 o'clock, he's out there. He's saluting me. It's Mr. Paul Ross. Let's have a little bit of Desiree. Come on, baby.
It was the 3rd of June on that summer's day when I became a man at the hands of a girl almost twice my age. And she came to me just like the morning sun. And it wasn't so much her words as such as the way they were sung. It was the way they were sung. Right, the night was this long. Remember Desiree, oh Desiree. Somehow I knew I could only have you till the morning light. If only for that single night. Sweet Desiree, you made it right. Then came the 4th of June. On that sleepless night, when I tossed and I turned, while the thought of her burned up and down my mind. For she was there and gone, without one regret. But she continues on like the words of a song I could not forget.